evil forces that are running this country are up to their old tricks, and I have some important questions and a couple of things that I can't quite get my mind around that I'm going to need you guys to call in and share with me your thoughts, because we have some people with some expert opinions out there on some of these issues. And, of course, your calls at 1-888-465-2631. Toll-free call no matter where you are listening. All right, stand by. I've got my brand new Trump hat on, my Make America Great Again hat. We are good to go.
Great vendors on hand, everything you need to stay healthy.
Yes.
The truly shadow on site. We've got great giveaways, fun, and more. It's the
All right.
South Florida Chamber Health Fair.
7 seconds.
At the Kane Center, 900 Southeast Salerno Road in Stewart. Learn more. GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
It sure is. Welcome, one and all, to the program. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio. Holy smokes, do we have a lot to cover today. So much is going on. I've got a couple of things in the beginning that I want to go over. I'm going to do one at a time, and I need your response to this. The first one is to the ladies in the audience, in particular, married women in the audience, or divorced women in the audience, or just women in general that are in any type of relationship. Because did you see what happened to President Trump's spokesperson on the Clinton News Network, CNN, yesterday? Oh my goodness. And I'm asking for the opinions of women on this, because the reaction was so bizarre. So let me just play this. This is, of course, Mrs. Levitt, who's I think she's pregnant. Last time I saw her, she was pregnant. Is she still pregnant? Does anyone know? Is Carolyn Levitt still pregnant? Has she given birth yet? I don't know. But she was on with Casey Hunt of CNN. And Casey Hunt, she used to work for quite some time at MSNBC, and then she went over to CNN. So, you know, her hardcore left-wing credentials are strong. But let me just play the exchange, and then I'll share with you my thoughts on this, because it's a pretty big deal.
So he's basically saying there, well, will I let Joe Biden win? It does seem as though many Republicans have set the bar very low in terms of arguing that Joe Biden is basically senile. Now you have people like Doug Burgum coming out and saying, well, President Biden's very accomplished, trying to set expectations in a different place. What do you expect from Joe Biden?
Well, first of all, it takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently
we're going to stop this interview if you're going to keep attacking my colleagues. Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
Yes.
If you are here to speak on his behalf, I'm willing to have this conversation.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back at any point. She is welcome to come back and speak about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump will have equal time to Joe Biden when they both join us now at later this week in Atlanta for this debate.
Okay, so that was Casey Hunt, Carolyn Levitt. Casey Hunt from CNN is hysterical. She can't even put together a complete sentence there at the end. She's having a panic attack. And I'm going to tell you what my first reaction to that was. And my wife agreed with this. For Casey Hunt to get so personal, where she's shaking, she's hysterical, she's stuttering, she can't put a thought together over the protection of Jake Tapper. That sounds like too much of an emotional reaction to a male coworker from a lady coworker. if something like that happened to me and there was a woman defending me with this incoherent, hysterical defense, I think people listening would think there was something going on with us. Casey Hunt is acting like she's defending her boyfriend. Now, I'm not saying that they're involved in a relationship, but that's the impression I get from that, right? What do you guys get from that? In particular, I want to hear from the ladies out there, married women, divorced women, widows, whatever it is you may be. I think most women, if they heard a woman with that kind of defense for their husband, when the husband came home, they'd say, what's going on? What's going on with you and her? Something's up here. This is not normal. Do you guys agree with that? 1-888-465-2631. Or am I just a little paranoid? I don't know, but that's what it looked like to me. 1-888-465-2631. Now, there was discussion of this going on all day yesterday. This happened early in the day, and everyone was talking about it yesterday. And I think this was on the 5. I was in the car listening to the 5, and they had, I don't know who the liberal they have on there, because I couldn't see them. I was just listening. And the liberal on the 5, I'm pretty sure this was the 5, he said, yeah, they're biased, but Trump agreed. So that's it. So because Trump agreed to do the debate, Dana Bash and Jake Tapper can behave any way they want, no matter how inappropriate it is, because I'm going to get into Tapper in a minute. But this, I don't care how healthy, I've been married, it'll be 28 years I've been married in December. And I got to tell you, if there was a woman defending me with this incoherent hysteria that Casey Hunt had towards Jake Tapper, when I got home, my wife would say, what's up with Casey Hunt here? It's not that she's defending him. It's how emotional she is about it. So I'd like to hear from you guys in the audience, in particular the ladies, but you men can weigh in too. Is this very odd to you? Let me know what you think. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, this is Richie.
Oh, hey, Richie.
This one, I'm sorry to say this one, I think this is between you and your wife looking at something that's not there at all. You're in the business. You got a producer earphone in your head, probably screaming at her, cut her off now, and she is that.
No way. It was too instantaneous. There was. No, if they were yelling into her headphones, there would have been a slight delay. As soon as she said that about Jake Tapper, it was instantaneous. Not enough time for it to hit and get into the headphones and everything else. No, it was her immediate emotional reaction.
Well, I don't know about that, because that station is in a toilet bowl, and they're all on pins and needles, and they're all under a microscope. And I think that it's like you're being attacked, and you're at the Alamo, and you're down to the last couple of guys. You're going to defend whoever's standing around you. I don't think there's anything separate.
Well, there's another possibility. I mean, it's a very unhealthy reaction. She's having an emotional reaction towards a man that she's not married to. Okay. The other thing is possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What I see is that this is the treatment that you watch the preview of what's going to happen with President Trump, and because they are censoring, and she's the press secretary for the campaign. She's not no little. She's top shelf there. They disrespect Trump.
Yeah.
Respect the campaign.
Well, I think I'm gonna wait till we hear from some women on that, because I think men will look at this differently. There's another possibility. And I'm not going to go through my whole thing, but Jake Tapper and his team tried to have me arrested with Laura Loomer after the Parkland shooting. If you guys remember that, so Jake Tapper and his producer tried to have me and Laura Loomer arrested after the Parkland massacre here in South Florida, and really harassed us, and it was pretty bad. The only reason we didn't get arrested is because the cop in charge of the detail knows me from the show here, and and had told them they better not do it, or they're going to regret. But Jake Tapper, from my own experience, is a monster, as are his team. So Casey Hunt could be terrified of Jake Tapper and his team of nasty people.
Absolutely. I see that more so than sexual. I'm telling you straight up. And with that yelling in a reel like that, but what that did was totally expose CNN for what's going to probably happen. Now, what I said to you yesterday about not completing the thing that he did, that you remember, what's his name, Paul, the senator that's Rand Paul?
Yeah.
Dad froze up and they took him off. How about the Speaker, what do you call it, not Speaker of the House, Mitch McConnell freezing up and they grabbed him and
Yes.
They could say there's a medical episode. I'm not going to say he's going to cut. That's what I'm saying.
No way. No way.
Well,
it also could be, the tension at CNN could be over the condition of Biden. This idea that he's still preparing. I heard them say that they have an airplane hangar set up as a debate stage. I do planning for the show by just reading through the news, and then any story that I find interesting that I might talk about, I tweet. So all my show prep is on my Twitter feed, and during the show, I don't rehearse or practice or think about what I'm going to say. I know these things. President Trump's not doing that either. At that level, you don't prepare like this.
No, you have a record for 3.5 years. You got to prepare for a week. To
3.5 years. He's been in Washington since Richard Nixon was president. He should know all this stuff. Like that's how you listened to me when I was a kid doing this. Taking the open phones now is a little different than when 30 years ago, right? I was getting whooped by the callers. Remember Marty the Watchdog? Oh my goodness. But anybody remember Marty the Watchdog? Oh my goodness, he was. There was many a radio personality was terrified of that guy. But I can take any call no matter what they're going to talk about. And as long as they're speaking English, I got it. At the level that Biden and Trump are at, that's how it is. This prep thing is a cover story. They're just doing drug testing.
It's like, think about this. I've been retired for like 13 years now, so it's getting ridiculous. I could get behind a bus wheel this morning and without thinking about it, drive straight down Broward Boulevard. You don't forget something like that. Something you do in your whole life, you don't forget. I mean, it's like second nature. And the last thing I want to say to you, I agree with you about how they ran them ragged. That's sort of like if you have the flu and then somebody pushes you to run a marathon with the flu.
Yeah. All right, Richie. I'm gonna move on. I want to get focused. I appreciate the call. So what I want to get back to though, I want to hear from women in the audience. In particular, men can comment too. I think men and women will look at this differently. But Casey Hunt's reaction over the attack on Tapper, just too emotional. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi Brian, it's Roz. How you doing?
Oh, hey Roz, we'll get a lady's perspective.
Yes. Now, it sounds like something's going on because I've watched this before where another person was talking about somebody from CNN and they said one time, listen, don't talk bad about my coworker, but they let them finish and talk. But this, what I heard, sounds like it was hitting home. It was personal. Like, hey, this is my guy. You aren't going to say...
Like it's like she's talking about her boyfriend. Richie, see, thing about bus drivers, bus drivers are always flirting with the ladies on the bus, especially the regulars, guys, so, Richie comes at this from a different perspective. My immediate reaction is she's acting like Jake Tapper's her boyfriend.
He's probably fooling around with her.
I don't know about that, but there's definitely something weird going on there.
Or maybe they got some chemistry, or maybe she likes him, but the way she acted was like that person was attacking either her boyfriend or her husband. Nobody acts like that.
If there was a woman defending your husband with that kind of hysterical, emotional reaction, wouldn't you be like, hey, what's going on?
Of course. But you know me, I told you I was cheated on. I found out
well,
I was cheating.
Well, there you know. So, there you go.
I already know about this stuff, and you can tell. You can tell when somebody's messing around.
I think you're right. There at least is some chemistry.
That and you notice the person, there's a change in their attitude towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Nasty to you when they used to be nice.
Yes.
They criticize you. That's what he started doing to me. But you know how I found out that he was cheating? This is the funny thing. I didn't know at first he was cheating, but I had a dream that he was cheating.
Wow.
And and I woke up and I said to my daughter, I said, give me the Verizon account number to get in. I want to check his phone.
Oh, my goodness.
And she said, since when do you get on Verizon? I said, give me that number. Sure enough, I got on there in one 24-hour period. 364 phone calls.
What?
Text. Yes, in a 24-hour period. Text, pictures, and everything.
You sure he was cheating or stalking? Sounds like a stalker.
He was cheating, and then I caught him. It was like 2 days later. I was sitting in the bedroom, and I was on the computer watching him. I was playing a game, and he was in the living room on his iPad. And I just went over there casually, and I smiled, and I said, hi, who are you talking to? And he dropped the iPad, and he's like, I'm not talking to anybody. I'm just surfing the web. And 2 minutes later, he comes in the bedroom, sits on the bed, and he says, I want to watch TV with you. And I said, for what? I said, go back out there. I don't want you in here. And he says to me, you know what he says to me?
What's that?
He says, why are you accusing me of cheating on you?
Oh, so yeah. Listen, I'm up against the break, so you got 10 seconds. You can give us the finale.
But I said to him, I never accused you of cheating. I just asked you who you were talking to. So right there, and I was watching him. I caught him, and then it all blew up 2 days later, and I told him to...
Well, I will say this. Okay, he was gaslighting you. I'll say this. See, Roz has been through this, so she knows the signs, and she sees it with Casey Hunt and Jake Tapper. All right, Roz, thank you for your call.
Have a good day.
All right, we'll take our first break of this Tuesday morning and be right back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Getting on the action. Call the Steve Kane.
What do you guys think? Yes or no? That there's like something there. Yes or no? What do you guys think? It's just very, very suspicious. Very suspicious. Now, I want to tell you guys, Tom Laporta from Laporta Contracting. It's now Laporta Roofing. And Tom Laporta and Laporta Roofing are now sponsoring both my YouTube channel and my podcast. Started yesterday. And, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing can help you with your roof. And, they'll never sell you a roof you do not need. If you just need a simple repair, Tom Laporta will do it. He works on every type of structure there is, from single-family homes, condos, HOAs, municipal buildings, churches, schools, whatever type of structure there is, he does it. And he also works with every type of roofing material there is. Shingle, tiles, whatever type of roofing material there is, he works with it. And he covers the entire state of Florida, okay? So no matter where you are in the state of Florida, he can help you. The East Coast, the West Coast of Florida, and everywhere in between. He's a good manga guy. He'll take good care of you. Now, if you have a leak in your roof, getting a lot of rain in Florida lately, you have a little wet spot on your ceiling, you got a leak in your roof, call your insurance company, but then call Tom Laporta. I'm going to give you his number in just a minute. There's new Florida laws came into effect last year that allow Tom to talk directly to your insurance company for the cost of the repair, or maybe you need a new roof. He'll let you know. He can handle all that for you. So give him a call. Here's his number, 954-604-4602. And if you are watching live, you'll see the link pinned to the top of the chat. And I'll also put it in the description of the video as well for Laporta Roofing. And this number rings directly to his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Or you can click the link at the top of the chat. And I'm also, as I said, I'm going to post it in the description of the video as well. All right? Make sure you tell him you heard about him from me, okay? Appreciate that. If you're on hold, hang in there. I just put Tom Laporta's link in the description. All right, we're coming back now.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Gray. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All righty, 24 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Okay, so we're talking about this incident with Mrs. Levitt here, the official campaign spokesperson for President Trump. And like all the women around Trump, she's, like a supermodel. She's on CNN yesterday. She says one thing which is true about Jake Tapper, and Casey Hunt goes on this hysterical, bizarre rant.
He's basically saying there, well, will I let Joe Biden win? It does seem as though many Republicans have set the bar very low in terms of arguing that Joe Biden is basically senile. Now you have people like Doug Burgum coming out and saying, well, President Biden's very accomplished, trying to set expectations in a different place. What do you expect from Joe Biden?
Well, first of all, it takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently
we're going to stop this interview if you're going to keep attacking my colleagues. Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
Yes.
If you are here to speak on his behalf, I'm willing to have this conversation.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back at any point. She is welcome to come back and speak about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump will have equal time to Joe Biden when they both join us now at later this week in Atlanta for this debate.
Okay. And, my immediate reaction was there's something going on with these two, the way she's acting. Very bizarre. Roz, First Lady of the day, she agrees with me. Richie, the bus driver, he says no. But I don't know. We'll see what you think. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
PJ from Broward.
Hey, PJ.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I think you could be wrong about Casey Hunt being in love with Jake Tapper. You know what? Look at her bio page. I sent it to you.
Oh, don't tell me. Is she gay?
No, her bio page has a picture of her at the top of her. I sent it to you. Of her holding, shaking hands and looking lovingly into Joe Biden's eyes at each other.
Oh, well, did he sniff her hair?
Yeah, well, it was a picture, so I couldn't tell if he went on to do that. But why would you, if you're trying to portray yourself as a neutral, objective reporter, why would you have a picture of Joe Biden at the top of your bio page?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's on her Twitter?
Yeah, I sent it to you. It's a screenshot.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look. Oh, okay. It's her shaking hands with, I guess she interviewed him. So you're saying she wouldn't cheat on Joe Biden with Tapper?
I don't know. The love is, I mean, why would you have that on your bio page if you're trying to project yourself as an objective reporter?
Yeah, it's because you're right. It's not too smart.
Never. I mean, he's president. Really? So she had her holding, shaking Trump's hand and looking lovingly at.
If she had a photograph like this with Trump, with that look on her face, she'd get fired.
Exactly correct. That's exactly correct. By the way, I maybe I forgot what that incident at the Parkland school. I thought it was not CNN that you had trouble with the crew. I thought it was CBS.
Oh, that was another time. The CNN problem was when I went to the CNN town hall on gun control after the shooting with Loomer, and that's when that happened with Tapper. The CBS guy, that is when I was just standing in front of the school live streaming, and the guy came up and started threatening me and being very accusatory. The CBS network guy, yeah. I had an incident with them too. I had a Trump shirt on, and it said Trump Dreamer, and I was standing in front of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas where the press were. I'm press. I'm media, and I'm opinion, but I'm still media. And I was live streaming, and he was triggered by the Trump shirt, Trump Dreamer.
Oh, okay. So you got slammed by two different networks.
Yeah. He wanted me to tell him who I was, and I said, "You're CBS News. Go find out." And then he started telling me that if any equipment goes missing, he took my picture, and he said he took my picture because if any equipment goes missing, he wants to tell the police who to look for. And I said, you go ahead and you file a false police report, okay? Then you'll find out who I am, and you made a mistake. It was insane. But that's the liberal media. He was just a cameraman, by the way, with the network. Even the cameramen are like vicious, vile snakes.
Yeah. So yeah, check that. Oh yeah, but also that she's getting on her Twitter bio for Casey Hunt, she's getting ratioed so horribly about that Twitter bio that she might be forced to take it down and replace it with another picture.
Oh, really? With the another picture of her with Biden? Or, yeah.
Maybe a picture of her with Jake Tapper, who knows?
You know, I am so bad when I meet celebrities. When you meet celebrities, you have a choice to make. Do you take the picture or do you have a little bit of a conversation? And I always go for the conversation, and I miss out on all these pictures. I'm just not a big picture taker, But but anyway. All right, I appreciate the call, PJ. Take care. Good observation. If you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. Flow Ride is the longest running radio show. Our number is toll free 1-888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
If you're on hold, hang in there.
The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center. South
Wow.
Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good afternoon, South Florida. First warning meteorologist Vanessa Vinance from WPBF 25 News. Looking pretty good out there. We have a lot of sunshine and some passing showers. We'll see more downpours developing after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This trend continues tomorrow with those hot temperatures close to the 90s with afternoon showers and thunderstorms.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
What a day, guys. What a day. Things are going much better today. No technical issues.
Only exclusions apply. That's traffic. I'm Claudia Fernandez.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC is Palm Beach County's only OTB location featuring exciting action from top horse tracks around the country, including thoroughbred action from New York, Kentucky, and California. And the Paddock Restaurant offers the ultimate sports and dining experience with over 140 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. PBKC is your entertainment destination. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's
Ah, great. Just lost the internet. Okay, it's back, I think. No, yep, it's back. Yep. Just lost the internet. Just lost the internet. All my show prep's on the computer. Online. Well, let's hope it comes back. Great. All righty, we are back. And let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
You had a cable access TV show back in the 90s, correct?
Yes, it was an awesome show too. It was a hot show.
At any given time, you would have had somebody and you would have done an interview with them, right? Correct. So, and you never want to let them see you panic.
That's correct.
And that's what Casey Hunt did. She panicked.
Yes.
Put the whole thing about her having something to do with Jake Tapper, on the side. She panicked because the information that Caroline Levitt wasn't talking to Casey Hunt. She was talking to the CNN audience.
Or to Jake Tapper.
Well, maybe both.
I would be embarrassed if I were Jake Tapper. First off, I'd be concerned that people were suspicious of something that is not true, and then I'd be embarrassed that this girl has to defend me.
Well, yeah, but how much you want to bet that a lot of the information that Caroline Levitt was putting out there that the audience for CNN has never heard before?
Well, that's part of the thing. That's one of the reasons they shut her down. But now everyone's going to hear it because what Casey Hunt did had an opposite effect that she intended. Now everybody's hearing it. It's all over social media. Everything's all over social media. I'm going to play it in a minute. All right, I appreciate the call. Oh, I got a few things I want to ask you guys. Before I get back to this CNN thing, because it's important, I want to ask your opinion on this Hooters thing. You've seen all the Hooters that are shutting down? And I know they're saying it's the economy, and that's a factor, but it's not the main factor. Do you know why I think these Hooters are shutting down? There's not enough heterosexual men that are of that age to go to these places anymore, right? You know, there are all these different genders now. First off, when you look at the millennial population and younger, 25%, probably even greater, are gay these days, right? Gay guys don't like Hooters. They're disgusted by Hooters. Nobody goes to Hooters for the food. Everyone goes for the girls in the tight clothes and the big boots. Come on. It's true. You know where people go for wings is Wings Plus. That's right, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs, a longtime sponsor of the program. So about, I don't know, maybe 25-30% of the millennial and younger generation are just gay. Of the remaining 70%, a whole chunk of them are one of these 8,000 genders they have today. And, you know, married men don't go to Hooters too much because the wives don't like it. You know? Right? Do you think our wives want us going to Hooters? Of course not. Whose wife wants their husbands going to Hooters? So the older men. So it's the sexuality and gender thing that is more responsible for these Hooters restaurants shutting down than the economy. The economy is a factor, but if you go, you know, Hooters is the sex industry. Would you guys agree with that? It's the sex industry. It's a PG-13 strip club, right? PG-13 strip club. It's not rated R because there's no nudity, but there's a lot of teasing going on. So it's a PG-13 strip club. And the sex business in times of economic trouble is always booming. Always. Throughout American modern history, no matter what kind of recession the country's in, strip clubs and stuff do well. And Hooters is a PG-13 strip club. And I don't think that's a stretch. I mean, you know, come on. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that. Okay, so Carolyn Levitt, when she was on with Casey Hunt, she wanted to tell people to go look up Jake Tapper and his comments about President Trump, and that's what freaked her out, right? Well, here's the comments that Carolyn Levitt wanted everybody to watch. This is Jake Tapper. It's a montage of him talking about the greatest president ever, our favorite president, the great MAGA king, Donald Trump.
The dehumanizing rhetoric of Adolf Hitler is once again alive and well on a national political stage. This time, of course, in the United States. Donald Trump, a couple times over the weekend, referred to immigrants from South America, Africa, and Asia. He did not mention Europe. South America, Africa, and Asia as, quote, poisoning the blood of our country, which it's not hyperbole. That does very directly echo Adolf Hitler's language before World War II. Open up a copy of Hitler's Mein Kampf, you would find the Nazi leader describing the mixing of non-Germans with Germans as poisoning. There's really no other way to say it. Donald Trump's language mirrors this directly.
Okay. So this is, none of that's true, of course. And President Trump needs no defense. The thing about the blood, he was talking about the fentanyl crisis. They were bringing the drugs here, right? Everybody knows this. He talked about it in the rally many times. And I'm sure there's more instances than this, but here's a short montage. It's only 45 seconds of Jake Tapper in a very serious way in his own twisted Clinton News Network, CIA-run CNN. Because a lot of people don't know. Dana Bash is CIA. Anderson Cooper is CIA. This is known and documented. Everybody knows this. It's a CIA front group. They control messaging. It's gone out of date, though. That's why. Why do you think the United States is now going after TikTok? Whatever company buys TikTok is probably a CIA, NSA front company. Okay? It's probably not a real company. Anyway, Jake Tapper is not joking. It is his truth, little phrase there, that Trump is like Hitler. That is so disgusting, not just because it's not true, it trivializes what Hitler was and what the Nazis did. The thing, obviously that was all settled long before I was born, but I've studied it. I know you guys have studied it. I went to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. You ever been there? Oh, my goodness. Walking through that museum, and they have the real Nazi uniforms, right, on display and behind glass. It's scary, just even though that's on a mannequin sitting behind glass. It's frightening, So think about this. If you think someone is Adolf Hitler, that's pretty bad. You think someone is Adolf Hitler. How do you moderate a debate between two guys that are running to be the leader, Führer means leader, be the leader of the country, when one you believe is Hitler, and the other guy, with all his problems, is trying to stop Hitler from taking power? How can you moderate a debate with that mindset? Now, this liberal jerk on Fox yesterday, he says, well, the Trump campaign agreed with this, so that's it, giving the okay for Jake Tapper and Dana Bash to do whatever they want. But you look at between this montage and Casey Hunt's bizarre, hysterical meltdown with Carolyn Levitt yesterday on CNN from the Trump campaign. President Trump's official spokesperson, by the way, when Carolyn Levitt speaks, it's as if President Trump is speaking. She is his official campaign spokesperson. And she does a very good job, by the way. I thought she handled herself very well there. She let Casey Hunt do herself in, which made it even more beautiful. But I think they got some explaining to do over at CNN. All right, we're going to take our last break of the first hour. You're welcome to call in about all this that I brought up so far. Curious also to hear your thoughts on my Hooters closure theory. But I'm going to move on to some other topics after the break. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
Hard Truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Boulder yet? If you're looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, flown in fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West LA, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone, night sweats gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger.
By the way, guys, when I get back, I'm going to do the message for My Pillow. I just pinned the link to the top of the chat. That's to our personal My Pillow page. That'll take you directly to some of these incredible deals with our promo code Kane at checkout. And remember, every time you use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane at mypillow.com, you are supporting this program and all my content. So it's greatly appreciated.
Zero down financing? Yes, all year. We're South Florida's #1 for comfort because our family is serving your family all year. Call us today at 833-ALL-YEAR. That's 833 all year.
And now a message from Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com.
This is Scott from CutMyKilowatts.com. I'm back. Dog days of summer are upon us. Your AC is struggling, running constantly, trying to hold the temperature, maybe even failing late afternoon. Your electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog days of summer sales, save 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or CutMyKilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now, the Steve Kane Show on.
All right. 10 minutes before 7. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, stand by. You know, Mike Lindell over at MyPillow, he gave us our own MyPillow website that has some special deals that you don't see on the main website, mypillow.com/Kane, mypillow.com/Kane, Kane. Some of the deals you've heard me talk about and a whole bunch of others that I haven't talked about, you know, like the beach towels. Oh, man, you know, the MyPillow beach towels. I'm going to have my wife order a couple of these. They're normally $49.98, just $25 with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. The MyPillow 2.0, which you've got to get, no matter where you are in America, you want this MyPillow 2.0 for the summer. The MyPillow 2.0, it has that same patented fill inside that Mike Lindell invented, but the material on the outside is made of this special technology that Mike Lindell himself personally developed that is temperature regulating technology. You'll never turn the pillow over looking for the cool side again. It keeps your head and neck the perfect cool temperature all night long. You know, every time, you may not even remember it, right, because you're so out of it, but every time you flip the pillow over, even if you don't think you've woken up, you have, and you've interrupted your REM sleep. It's like having sleep apnea, especially over the hot times of the summer. The MyPillow 2.0, I take it on the cruises. When I travel, I take it with me. It'll change your life. And during the summertime, it's buy one, get one free with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. The 6-piece MyPillow towel sets, 50% off with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. So there's a bunch of other specials there that you do not see on the regular site. Oh, yeah, free shipping on all orders over $75 as well. So go to our new website that Mike Lindell just updated with a whole bunch of new specials, mypillow.com/Kane. mypillow.com/Kane, Kane. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Archie, Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Archie.
I think this is just a coincidence. You know.
What?
Notice something? Jeremy Bash is one of the 51 espionage that performed a coup against
Dana Bash. Her husband that she gets the Bash name from is a senior CIA guy. Are you serious?
That is too much of a quinky thing. She over there, it's CAN.
Yeah, I'll look. I'll tell you who he is. I'll look it up. It's on her bio. They don't keep it up. They don't. His name is Jeremy Bash. Okay, and he was the chief of staff at the CIA. Okay, and the Department of Defense when Obama was president. So he was chief of staff at the CIA. Dana Bash's husband.
Yes. So when President
Mm.
gonna come and see.
Okay. All right. You next time you call, turn off the volume in the background. I'm getting a lot of feedback. No, but that's true. You know, when I first heard that CNN was CIA, it was hard for my brain to accept it, right? Because I watched CNN for so long. You know, and Anderson. I mean, think about that. Dana bashes. I mean, that's insane. All right, our number 1-888-465-2631, and you know the now they're divorced, but she still has the name. She still has the CIA name. It's not an accident. She was divorced from her other husband too, John King, who's at CNN, but she kept the Bash name. She kept the CIA name. The other one's Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper. And Anderson Cooper, when he was in, of course, Gloria Vanderbilt's son, you know, and all that stuff with the Howard Hughes and the jeans and all that business. But Anderson Cooper, when he was in college, 2 summers in a row when he was in college, he interned at the CIA headquarters. Who does that? And before he was famous, remember he did that show, The Mole? It was a reality show not long after Survivor, where contestants, it was kind of like The Amazing Race. A team traveled the world and completing tasks. And every task they completed, money went into the pot. But there was one person that was on the team that really wasn't with the team. Everyone thought they were a contestant. They were the mole. They were an undercover operative. They were a mole. And they were trying to sabotage the team every step of the way so they didn't make money. And I remember the last season, the mole was a retired U.S. Naval Admiral. And before that, Anderson Cooper was a stringer journalist where he traveled the world just being an independent journalist trying to catch stories. That's a CIA cover. And that I know this sounds crazy. I know I sound like a conspiracy nut, but it's true. The Mole, if you go back to The Mole, they tried to bring it back. It was on a couple seasons with Anderson Cooper before he went to CNN. They tried to bring it back with someone else. If you go back on, do this after 9 a.m. Do not do this now. But if you go online and look up Anderson Cooper's Mole, who interned at the CIA headquarters 2 summers when he was in college, the Mole is set up like a CIA secret agent operation. It's probably where Anderson Cooper got the idea. So he's CIA. Dana Bash is CIA. CNN is CIA. And here they are, right, moderating the debate Thursday night. And I know a lot of this sounds crazy. Oh, by the way, this thing with Julian Assange. You know, I'm glad he's out of jail because, you know, what's happened with Julian Assange is one of the biggest miscarriages of justice in history. I know he had to make a deal to plead guilty to espionage. Doesn't mean he did it. He made a plea deal. He did what he did what he has to do, or he'll do it today, so that he can get out of the prison. Julian Assange is not a hacker. He's not a spy, and he did not do any espionage. He is a journalist. He's a journalist. And that Manning, who's a very confused person, they were committing espionage because they were in the Army and had military clearance and stole secrets and gave them to Julian Assange. The United States policy is that over the years, there's been very high-profile incidents of this over the years. The Pentagon Papers is the most well-known. Okay? But there have been others where people in the government take government secrets and give them to journalists. The Pentagon Papers, they gave classified information to the Washington Post. They didn't prosecute the reporters. They prosecute the person that gives the information to reporters, okay? Julian Assange is a member of the media. And he may be the only, if not the only, one of the few journalists that's been prosecuted by the United States government for receiving classified information and reporting on it. I've never seen anything like this. And the thing about Manning, I heard some people talking about this early this morning in the news around the world. Why did Manning have the sentence commuted by Obama? Because he was going through this transgender thing, and the transgender thing was starting to become a thing among Democrats then. So Obama commuted the sentence because they didn't want to alienate the gays and transgenders. That's why. But Julian Assange. And then Alex Jones is getting InfoWars completely liquidated. And, you know, what's going to happen with Alex Jones, who knows? You know, if I were to guess, I'm not saying this is going to happen tomorrow or next month, but he's not going to be able to make a living in this country. Anything he does, they're going to seize. I've made this prediction before, but I want to, on my podcast, but I want to make it for you guys. At some point in the future, I could see Alex Jones leaving the United States and going to a place where he can do what it is he does and not have it taken away from him. Like Russia, he might go to Russia. Or maybe some other... What other countries around the world could he operate in like he could in Russia? But I expect him to go off the grid somewhere where he can make a living and not have the court system seize it from him. So Assange is free. Alex Jones is being liquidated. And a guy who thinks Trump is a Nazi is moderating the CNN debate on Thursday. So we got a lot to cover. Now, I got a big story I'm going to break down after the top of the hour break. Don't go anywhere. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be back after this.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and Hurry Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning.
Wow.
You're off to a great start. So today we're going to see a high of about 91 degrees, and we'll feel hotter than that with high humidity, and we'll see a good coverage of some strong afternoon showers and storms. I'm going to be PB Out 25 first morning when you're all in this Sandwich.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
We're starting to see some slight delays this Tuesday morning. Plus, there's an accident in Montana that has 2 right lanes blocked on 95 northbound approaching Hypoluxo Road. There's also construction to know about on Bagnet Boulevard between Dixie Highway and Olive Avenue. This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride. The parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time. Or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. That's traffic. I'm Claudia Fernandez.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC is Palm Beach County's only off-track riding location featuring exciting action from top horse tracks around the country. Check out thoroughbred action from New York, Kentucky, California, and more. And the Paddock Restaurant offers the ultimate sports and dining experience with over 140 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. PBKC is your entertainment destination. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
The Greater South Florida Chamber Health Fair is coming up this Friday, June 28th, from 11 to 3 at the King Center in Stewart. The True Oldies channel will be on site. We've got great giveaways, fun, and more. Learn more at
Here we go.
GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, it sure is. Hour number 2 has begun. It is Tuesday, June 25th, 2 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Okay, this is a big story that dropped yesterday that, to me, is so fishy. And it's a continuation of yesterday. Remember I was talking to you about how there's been this effort to sabotage Biden before Thursday's debate, the fact checkers saying that Trump didn't say anything wrong about Charlotte. We talked about that all day yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, the story that I'm going to share with you dropped about Biden. And listen to this. Joe and Jill Biden have refinanced their home in Delaware 20 times. Refinanced it 20 times. I'm going to go through the details of this story. And I do believe this story, which is a long time, very bizarre financial thing the Bidens have been doing, I think this story dropped to cause some scandal before the debate on Thursday. That's what I think this is about. I wonder what else we're going to get this week. This is the second drop that hurts Biden in 2 days. We had Sunday. We had the Snopes. See, they got me finally saying, I hate calling it Snopes, but I'll call, tired hearing from people. It's not Snoop. a lot of times I mispronounce stuff on purpose or say things in a different way to ridicule things. But anyway, forget about it. Some people don't get. But this came out yesterday. Who knows what will come out tomorrow and then Thursday? Who knows? But this sounds like some financial funny business to me. Let me go through this. This came out of the Daily Mail. Joe Biden and Jill Biden have been using their homes as ATMs, taking out multiple mortgages and refinancing their Delaware properties an astonishing 35 times. A Daily Mail investigation has revealed 35 times. Now, I know people do refinance. Refinancing, now I'm not a financial person, okay? That's what Jupiter Joe Thomas is for. But refinancing, which I've never done, and when people I know have talked about doing it, I don't give people financial advice, but most of the time, people that I know who have refinanced, okay? Now, I'm not talking about the last couple years with interest rates. Someone might try to refinance to get a lower interest rate. Refinancing is expensive. It's expensive, okay? And the cost of it depends on the value of the home and, how much the mortgage is. But it costs thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, depending on the property value, to refinance a home. And, of course, you're restarting the loan. Banks love it. They don't want you to ever pay off your house, okay? The banks want you to start that loan over, another 20 or another 30-year mortgage. But anyway, the Bidens have multiple mortgages and have refinanced their Delaware properties 35 times. Biden has lived in 2 houses in Delaware since '75. When he bought his first property in Wilmington that he later sold in the late 90s. Records obtained by the Daily Mail show the Bidens have had a habit of negotiating a new mortgage or credit deal on both homes every 17 months. So they have refinanced or taken out a line of credit on the property every 17 months. Now, I have a theory on this that I'm going to share with you when I go through this, and you can let me know if you agree or disagree, or perhaps you have some other theories, because this stinks. This stinks. This is not legit. Over the decades, the Bidens have borrowed a total of $6 million on both properties. There's still an outstanding $541,000 mortgage on their current 3-bedroom, 4.5-bath in Wilmington, 3 decades after they bought it. The constant refinancing raises the question of why the Bidens, who have a net worth of $10 million, need the constant flow of extra cash. It doesn't make a lot of sense unless they're desperate for cash, says one financial expert that was interviewed. The revelation comes as questions grow about the president's involvement in his son Hunter's shady business dealings with the Chinese oil giant. It goes on and on. According to mortgage documents, the Bidens purchased their current 4-acre lot for $350,000 in '96, but have saddled it with 20 different home credit agreements and mortgages totaling $4.23 million. So they've taken this $350,000 property and have taken cash out of it of $4.23 million. Their previous 5-bed, 2.5-bath home in the same town was purchased in '75 for $185,000, and they sold it in '96 for $1.2 million. Records show that property had 15 mortgages and lines of credit attached to it. The Bidens also own a summer home on the beach, which they purchased in 2017 for $2.7 million. That property has no mortgages. The property data suggest that the 46th president and his wife have needed money fast and have used their home equity as the main source of credit over the years. So every 17 months, they have refinanced their home. And they've been doing this since '75. So 35 refinancings. This is insanity. I've heard of people having 2 mortgages on a property. That's crazy. I've heard of people refinancing once or twice. Sometimes when people refinance, and I don't think this is why the Bidens did it. There's two possibilities that come to my mind. But again, I'm not a financial guy, and I'm certainly not a financial criminal. So there may be some other reasons other than the two I'm going to give you to the Bidens refinancing their home at a large amount over its value every 17 months. Most people I know that have refinanced, some will say it's for a lower interest rate. That's usually a BS story. They want to pay off debt, usually. People usually refinance to pay off debt. Credit card debt, they're getting a divorce, something. Okay? They'll say to get a lower rate because, they don't want to let you know that they're in a lot of debt. But it's usually debt is why people refinance. Okay? Because it's so expensive to do it. So why are the Bidens doing it every 17 months? I have two possibilities. Now, the financial expert says they need fast cash all the time. Okay. It could be, to me, they're worth $10 million, but I don't know how much of that's liquid. They factor in their homes. They got a beach house. They got this house. I don't know. You put people's net worth on paper, it's nowhere near what they have on hand, right? Unless you're Trump. Trump has like $1 billion in cash lying around. Why would the Bidens do this? It'd be one of two reasons. Hunter gets in trouble with the Russian pimps or the drug dealers and needs money to pay off his drug habit or his hooker habit. When he was in that Beverly Hills hotel, you go to his laptop and read Miranda Devine's book, Laptop from Hell, he was spending like $35,000, $40,000 on one prostitute over the weekend. That didn't even include the drugs, right? Remember, he was putting it on Joe Biden's credit card. Secret Service had to get involved. They had to go, remember all that? So Hunter could rack up big bills with pimps and drug dealers. That's one possibility. And every once in a while, when he goes on a bender and racks up the debt, they take out the mortgage, they get the cash, so they can pay off the pimp and drug dealers. That's one possibility. Another possibility that I could see is that, Biden, do we all agree that Biden takes bribes, right? Biden practically has a sign out in front of his home, "Buy me." And the reason Biden goes home to Delaware every weekend is that's where he does his shady dealings, okay? There's no visitor logs at the home in Delaware like they have at the White House. He can meet with anyone. He can meet with the Chinese oil executives, Burisma, all that stuff. There's no record of it. They do it at the White House. There's a record. So many have suspected, and I agree, that the dirty dealings are made in Delaware. So the refinancing and getting a boatload of cash could also be when he takes a bribe, they take out the mortgage, get the line of credit to explain the cash flow, why they're buying a lot of new crap. Or it could be a mix of both. But this stinks. This is not legit. This sounds to me like money laundering. What do you guys think? Why would the Bidens, who are wealthy, be refinancing their home every 17 months? Those are the only two reasons I can think of. Now, I know you guys may have some other theories. I'd very much like to hear them. And there may be people that are in the financial business, maybe the mortgage business, and you might have some thoughts on it. I'd like to hear your thoughts as well at 1-888-465-2631. This is crooked. Whatever this is, it's crooked. Every 17 months, they refinance or get a line of credit out on the home. And they've gotten much more cash than the home is valued. Now, it's worth a lot more now because he's, unfortunately, a president. And, that increases the value of a property when a president lives there. The second thing is this story, now keep in mind, the Bidens have been doing this since 1975. So been going on before Hunter was old enough for the pimps, hookers, and drugs. So he had other reasons for doing it back then. That's why I think it's to cover up the bribe money, possibly. Could be both. And also, do you think that this story, which he's been doing since 1975, he's been doing it for 49 years, has all of a sudden just dropped as another way to undermine him to the debate. I wonder who dropped it. Do you think this was dropped by Democrats, or do you think this was dropped by Trump people? What do you think? 1-888-465-2631. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
James from Boca.
Hey, James.
Good morning, Brian. Maria on the Sunday show, Comer was on there this last Sunday, and he said on air that the Bidens have taken over $1 billion in the last 49 years.
$1 billion? Oh, you mean through...
B on you can look it up. He said the Bidens crime family has received over $1 billion since
wow.
in an office.
Get out of town. Comer said that to Bart.
You can look it up on Sunday.
Oh my goodness.
Maria? Yep.
Well, where'd the money go? Why are they refinancing the house every 17 months?
I think you're right on that. Yeah, I think
well, which one?
either they pay somebody back or they get paid back.
Yeah.
No one finances their house every 18 months.
When people come into a lot of cash, they start buying stuff. They got to explain the cash. So my guess is I believe, I'm sure sometimes it's to pay off the pimps and the drug dealers. I get that, but it's to explain the purchases from the bribe money. Oh yeah, we bought all these new cars, but we just refinanced the house again.
Well, I guarantee you're right right above the target.
Now, why do you think this is dropped? I mean, here we are, the eve of the debate. This is the next thing that's dropped after what we were talking about yesterday with the fact checkers. Do you think this was found out by the left leaking this out to undermine Biden, or is this kind of like an October surprise that the Trump campaign dropped out there?
I think that they're trying to get rid of Biden.
Mm-hmm.
That they hit him last election, and there's no way to hide what everybody has seen so far in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Stairs or not walking upstairs, shaking hands with nobody, doing something on stage, And sometimes I think it's fake. Because
yes.
I wonder if he just doesn't want to go to jail.
I've talked about this a lot. Remember when Michael J. Fox testified in front of Congress and he didn't take his medication, so he was sympathetic. He had his symptoms showing, make him more sympathetic. He was shaky. He had all his Parkinson's symptoms. He was symptomatic, and he said he did that on purpose. And I think that Biden uses his cognitive decline as a shield. Sometimes it's real, but sometimes I think he doesn't take his medicines or pretends to as a shield. Yeah.
Depends on which one, too, I guess.
So Biden's been doing this refinancing every 17 months since 75. So this has been known in the Washington circles, I'm sure, all these years. Somebody dropped it. You think the Democrats did it? Not. I think Trump would hold on to this. I don't think Trump would drop this. I think they'd wait.
Drop that in a debate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Democrats did this. Yeah, you're right. All right. Appreciate the call, but it's certainly, and then we got some information. Anybody else hear that Comer said on Bartiromo's show on Sunday? That Biden has taken $1 billion since he's been in Washington? My goodness. Wow. Our number, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back.
Don't.
Trish 916, $10 super sticker. Thank you. William Livingston, $5 membership. Thank you. Yeah, I mean this is a whole new story. I mean this is pretty shocking stuff. This story here is new to us.
So there are different secret. put that in for you. What's the most?
And I'm going to take it off. And I reached to start taking it off, and he said, stop. And he got up and he walked and he looked and he looked. He didn't know it was a mask. He wasn't sure what I was wearing. He sat back down. He said, okay. So I took it off. And I was holding it. And absolutely.
And that would be the
heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting FPL bills up to 40%. Dog Days of Summer sale, save 50% on radiant barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing. We even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off radiant barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or talkmykilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
Hey, grab your flip-flops and get ready for a summer in paradise on Margaritaville at Sea, where cruises to the Bahamas now start at just $75 a person for a limited time. Dance the night away at our high-energy poolside parties, then settle in for island-inspired cuisine night after night with your favorite plus one. From fins up to sundown, a Bahamas getaway with Margaritaville at Sea is the perfect summer refresh. Book it today to lock in your savings on your next cruise together at margaritavilleatsea.com.
Hello, this is Mike with Friendly Tire. I've been in business for 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies FLA.
All right, welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. If you are in pain, listen up. You don't have to be in pain. It's so amazing. As you grow older, and I was having pains, I just thought that was growing older because I remember when I was a kid, I can remember when my grandparents were my age. Oh, my goodness. And that's crazy, huh? And they were always in aches and pains. That was a long time ago. It was like the 70s. But I just thought, hey, I'm getting old now. Aches, pains, suffering. That's just what happens. Things just don't work like they used to do. And then I met Dr. Appleton. I'll tell you, the thing with Dr. Appleton, here's how it came to be. One of the sales guys, he came and asked me, he says, do you have any arthritis or anything? I said, well, my knee. And he told me about Dr. Appleton and the laser wave pain treatment. And he said, let's go over there tomorrow. Dr. Appleton, he'll do the treatment on you. And I said, okay, and I went over there. I met with Dr. Appleton. He, shared with me about the treatment. And, of course, I was sometimes, especially these rainy seasons, I'd be in so much pain, I'd be in tears. And when you're in pain, you'll do whatever it is to get rid of that pain. And I said, okay. And he showed me the laser treatment, which is completely 100% painless. There's no shots, no injections. It's not invasive. And I looked at it, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And he gave me the treatment. And I was like, oh, okay. The next day, 40% of the pain gone. I went back. That was on I'm pretty sure it was a Thursday. Because it was either a Thursday or a Friday. Because I went in for the second treatment on Saturday. I think it was Thursday. Because it was a Thursday. Dr. Appleton said, you're going to see the effects tomorrow, and then you'll come back for a follow-up treatment on Saturday. And the next day, I woke up 40% of the pain gone. I got the second treatment on Saturday. That Sunday, I woke up, the pain was completely gone after years of suffering, over 20 years of suffering in my knee, and it never has returned. By the way, that's the case with the other 4 times. He's rid me of pain 5 times. Each of the 5 times, pain gone has not returned because the laser treatment repairs the damage that's causing the pain. It works on every type of pain I've ever heard of and a whole bunch of pains I've never heard of. If you're in pain, stop suffering. Go see Dr. Appleton. Remember, walk-ins are welcome. Appointments are not necessary, even on Saturdays. Here's Dr. Appleton's number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. You can also go to his website. His number's there, AppletonChiro.com. AppletonChiro.com or 954-973-0710. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain. I am probably the only guy in South Florida who's going to tell you they have no interest in the Panthers winning the Stanley Cup. I know that's not, I know everybody's into the Stanley Cup. I've seen one professional hockey game. I saw it at that arena. It was the Panthers, and I had great seats. Someone in my family, they're Canadian. They are hockey fanatics, and they only get the best seats. And I thought it was the most terminally boring sporting event I'd ever seen. I would rather go and watch some guys play croquet or miniature golf than watch hockey. I found it terminal. It even went into, I don't think they call it overtime. Do they call it something else? I don't even know anything about it. It was terminally boring. I have zero interest in sports. I cannot tell you the name of a single player that not only plays in the NHL, but that plays on any professional team, including the Miami Dolphins. And I just can't get on the air and pretend to be excited about the Stanley Cup. I'm happy for them. Hey, they're winners. They're from. Are they Canadians or Americans, the guy that play on the Panthers? I drive by that arena all the time. It's next to the Sawgrass Mills Mall. I have been in that arena, not just for that one hockey game. I've seen President Trump speak there twice. I went to a Trump rally and went to the Faith and Freedom Tour there once. And I've seen a lot of concerts there. But I just can't get interested in the Stanley Cup, guys. I'm sorry. I know everybody else is acting like they're excited. And plus, I don't like it when people all of a sudden are into a team when they're doing well and they're not there when they're not doing well. Are they really fan? All right, so I was just reading this article during the break, and I'm behind on the break schedule, so my apologies. This will be a short segment. We'll come back, and then we'll get back into the politics. But I'm reading this article during the break about Hooters. And no one's going to tell you what I'm telling you. This is in the New York Post. Hooters has abruptly closed dozens of underperforming stores. The latest chain to suffer over inflation. Known for their skimpy uniforms, they called pressure from the current market conditions the reason behind their decision to shut down these restaurants, and they're shutting down dozens of them. And I am here to tell you there is no doubt in my mind that all this gender stuff is why they're closing. There are not enough guys that are under 40 that are interested in Hooters. Okay? They're interested in other things. I mean, your average guy that is under 40 now, AOC is in the news. Have you ever seen her boyfriend? Do you think AOC's boyfriend is interested in Hooters? No. And I'm curious, how is this impacting, like, strip clubs? I haven't heard anything about strip clubs closing down yet, but Hooters is the sex industry. And they have reduced the number of red-blooded heterosexual men. And they just don't have a large enough client base anymore to maintain all these locations. That's just the way it is. And you know what? We're in big trouble here. We are in big trouble. The Hooters closure is not because of the economy. It is a small factor. It's because of all this gender stuff. The American birth rate is barely above the death rate. We have like the lowest birth rate maybe in America's history. Okay? And the reason that the birth rate is down, even though it's been a year since Roe v. Wade was overturned, so abortions are down. So fewer pregnancies are, well, I don't know fewer because there's fewer people getting pregnant. There's not a lot of heterosexual activity going on like in the old days with people in the childbearing years. Okay? There's just not. And that's why the birth rate is down. That's why the Hooters are closing. We've got a big problem in this country. We do. A lot of this is going to disappear when Trump comes back because he's going to shut down a lot of this. And, it really shows you how important a leader is in the country. Because I think we get kind of spoiled or even bored with our leaders, and we don't realize what kind of tone our leaders set across the country. And, you saw this new guy they hired at the White House. What, you think that guy goes to Hooters? No. All right, we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. We'll get back into the politics, although that is politics. And you're not going to hear them talk about this in regards to Hooters. They're going to blame the economy, but it's all this gender-affirming garbage that's going on. The most guys these days that are millennials, the more of them are like Mayor Pete than like normal guys. Right? Exactly. All right, our number 1-888-465-2631. It's 7:30. Getting like Biden. It's 7:30 in the morning, Tuesday morning. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're off to a great start. So today we're going to see a high of about 91 degrees, and we'll feel hotter than that with high humidity, and we'll see a good coverage of some strong afternoon showers and storms. I'm WPB Act 25 First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
And now, a true oldies traffic check, brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Driving to Jupiter this Tuesday morning, there's an accident involving a tractor trailer on the turnpike northbound. All lanes are blocked off, approaching Indian Town Road. Plus, there's a crash in Lantana causing delays on 95 northbound as you're getting to Hypo-Luxo Road. This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. That's traffic. I'm Claudia Fernandez.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC is Palm Beach County's only OTB location featuring exciting action from top horse tracks around the country, including thoroughbred action from New York, Kentucky, and California. And the Paddock Restaurant offers the ultimate sports and dining experience with over 140 new HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. PBKC is your entertainment destination. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Hey, we need a timeout. Is your performance in the bedroom keeping you on the bench? Does fatigue have you feeling subpar? You gotta man up with Game Day Men's Health, where you can find high-quality, effective treatment programs, even if you're on the go. Call 561-355-5341. Testosterone therapy rejuvenates you with a renewed joy of life, with a free consultation and test as quick as 15 minutes. Treat your ED with Gaines Wave, non-invasive sound waves in your blood vessels. Proven by clinical research that it is safe and provides long-term results when you're in the bedroom. Consider HGH therapy to rev up your engine with HGH peptides, helping men fight fatigue and trim belly fat. A 100% bioidentical hormones facility, Game Day Men's Health will get you back in the game in no time. 561-355-5341. Visit our new location in Palm Beach Gardens on the corner of North Lake and North Military Trail. Their enjoyable man-cave environment provides refreshments and flat-screen TVs, aided by expert licensed staff who specialize in male health and wellness. Nothing else compares.
Wow.
Call 561-355-5341 or online at GameDayMen'sHealth.com for more information. Don't sideline your well-being. Let Game Day Men's Health help you score big.
Contracting, roofing, and building restoration. I am pleased to say our relationship with the Steve Kane Show and the show's listeners keeps getting stronger and stronger. The Steve Kane Show listeners are truly the best customers we have ever had. They are courteous, intelligent, honest, and quite a joy to work with. We have completed thousands of projects for the listeners, from repairs, single-family homes, large HOA complexes, and churches, with great success, and every one of those customers are like family. We have installed all kinds of roofs, from asphalt shingles, clay, and concrete tile, standing metal seam, slate tile, and flat roof systems. So come on, and let our family take care of your family. Call me on my cell at 954-604-4602, or find us on the web at laportacontracting.com. The number again is 954-604-4602.
Hey, grab your flip-flops and get ready for
Wow.
a summer in paradise on Margaritaville at Sea, where cruises to the Bahamas now start at just $75 a person. For a limited time, dance the night away at our high-energy poolside parties, then settle in for island-inspired cuisine night after night with your favorite plus one. From fins up to sundown, a Bahamas getaway with Margaritaville at Sea is the perfect summer refresh. Book it today to lock in your savings on your next cruise together at margaritavillatSea.com.
This is John from Lighthouse Medical Center, CFO and Director of Neuropathy. We want to welcome you to Lighthouse Medical Center this year. It's our 75th anniversary, and we've been able to help a lot of patients. We want to be able to help you with your neuropathy issues as well. You have numbness, burning, pain, tingling, lack of sleep, or balance issues, please come see us and let us help you with that problem. There's hope out there for you. We've had thousands of patients come through Lighthouse Medical Center. Being able to see the quality improved in their life and being able to help them and their family has been a blessing to us and a blessing to them, and we look forward to doing that for the next 75 years. We don't just treat neuropathy at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have a specialized knee pain program with non-surgical solutions for bone-on-bone and knee pain issues. We also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
The Greater South Florida Chamber Health Fair is coming up this Friday, June 28th, from 11 to 3 at the Kane Center in Stewart. There will be dozens of great vendors on hand, everything you need to stay healthy. The True Oldies channel will be on site. We've got great giveaways, fun, and more. It's the Greater South Florida Chamber Health Fair this Friday at the Kane Center, 900 Southeast Salerno Road in Stewart. Learn more, GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
Alrighty, we are back. Calls on hold, stand by. Our number 1-888-465-2631. I've covered a lot today. There's still more to cover. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's James out of Green Acres.
Hey, James, what's up?
So, what you're talking about here is done by design. They want to feminize men and masculinize women so they can destroy the population. That's done by the globalists.
You know, China, to replace us, China is waging the most brilliant war that's ever been waged without any military action. They just started up TikTok, got all this transgendered stuff trending on it, and now they've got the birth rate almost equal to the death rate now in this country in just a short couple years.
Well, the fascinating thing with China is that if you look at their TikTok, it's all educational, and they want a masculine man. Education is to make masculine men, so they don't want what these globalists want. They want a totally different plan.
So you agree with me that Hooters is shutting down because there just aren't enough heterosexual young men under 40 to support it?
Well, maybe. I mean, I'm not a big Hooters guy anyways. I don't really care for their food, but...
Well, nobody goes to Hooters for the food. They go for the girls. It's a strip club.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Good point. Appreciate the call. Now, I hate to continue this theme, but there's this story. Probably shouldn't bring this up, but what the heck? I'm going to bring it up. It's kind of related. There's not a lot of details on it yet. I read this story. There's an Air Force 2-star Major General who's been arrested and charged with sexual assault. And I read the story this morning, and I read the details of it. And apparently, it was 100% consensual. And what they're alleging is because the woman in question was a lower-ranking officer. It didn't say what rank she was in the article I read, if anybody knows. They're saying because she was a lower-ranking officer than him, that even though she consented, because he was her superior, she couldn't resist and did it anyway. So there's no way, even though she consented, she can't consent because she's a lower-ranking officer. I don't know. I don't know all the details of this. They're not all out there yet. But that's not a sexual assault, okay? That's not a rape. That, which I just described. Now, some more evidence may come out, and it wasn't consensual and it was violent. But what I read this morning in the papers was that she consented. And there's even been some concessions from her side that she consented, but because of the rank difference, they're saying she can't, the power over the woman. I mean, you know, their definition of sexual assault is very liberal when it comes to men that they don't like. A general, a great president like Donald Trump. But when it's illegals and they're doing the real thing, the real sexual assault is what happened to that park in Queens, to that 13-year-old little girl, or Lincoln Riley, or Jocelyn, that poor little girl in Houston, Texas, who was raped. They had her under that bridge for 2 hours or so. That's a sexual assault. Okay? That's a rape. That's a sexual assault. What they call sexual assaults now, when it's political, is a sexual assault, you know, is not a woman hooking up with a guy and then later regretting it. A sexual assault is not a woman hooking up with a guy and finding that there's some way to advance themselves financially years later and coming after them. A sexual assault is what happened under that bridge in Houston, what happened in that park in Queens. And it's amazing to me how how much they'll label things like this nonsense with E. Jean Carroll and President Trump. This thing they keep saying he's been held liable for rape. What does that even mean? I don't even understand what that means. Liable for rape? What does that mean? How can you be liable for an act like that? I don't understand. But it doesn't matter. They just want to be able to say Trump's name with rape in the sentence. Now, of course, he didn't do that. There's no evidence that he did. She couldn't even remember what year it was. It was out of that Law and Order episode. We know all that stuff. But I imagine we'll even hear this in the debate Thursday night, probably. Certainly, we're going to hear it in the analysis before and after from liberal commentators. Okay? But the real rapes that are going on, they don't want to cover that. I'm surprised in this military that we have a major general who's even into that kind of thing, like heterosexuality. You get my drift on that. Okay, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Terry from Florida. Hey,
yes.
Question for you, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of Trump's home?
Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago.
Didn't Hitler have his home? What's that the name of Hitler's home too? You know he idolized Hitler, right?
Wait. Hitler's home what?
He got the name from Hitler.
No. Hitler's no.
His home, the same name.
No. Where did you get that at? No, I did not say that. You are hallucinating. No.
Look it up.
No. Where this came from? Look what up? What do you want me to look up?
The name of Hitler's house.
Oh, the Berghoff. The Berghoff.
You didn't say that. Why are you lying, man?
You're telling me this is you are You are a crazy person. You were saying that. Slow. How can I look up something that didn't happen? You think you heard me say that Trump named Mar-a-Lago after Hitler's house?
Hitler is Trump's hero.
Let me tell you where you got this from. You're really a sick, sad man. Okay? About a week or two. No. I'm going to tell you what I did say. I'm a student of history. I want to tell you what happened. No, I'm going to do this with or without you. But you got to stop talking after every word I say so I can get this out, or I'll do it without you. Okay. A week or two ago, I was talking about this documentary on Netflix. It is a documentary about the history of the Nazis. Okay? And I started watching the first episode, and then I stopped because Jack Posobiec tweeted something out about it. And when I saw what he tweeted, I said, this is such a biased documentary, I'm not going to listen to it because I don't want any of their perversions to go in my mind. In the Netflix documentary, they show Hitler's house, the Berghof, and they say that it is Hitler's Mar-a-Lago in the Netflix documentary about Hitler. I didn't say that. They say that it was Hitler's Mar-a-Lago.
It came out of your mouth because I heard you read it. And
No. All right. No. All right. See what I'm talking about? You know, this is propaganda 101. Repeat a lie often enough and they'll believe it. And it just doesn't work. This isn't the 30s. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Pete from Jupiter.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, real quick. Mar-a-Lago, I'm not Spanish, but I believe that means sea to lake.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Since Mar-a-Lago was built back in the 20s, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with...
In fact, it was already named Mar-a-Lago maybe when he bought it, but on one side is the ocean, one side is the Intercoastal Waterway, which is kind of like a lake. That's where it gets the name from.
Exactly. I'm not a history buff, but I don't think Hitler named things after...
But well, this is what I'm wondering with that last guy that called Terry. Is he brain dead, or is he just lying? Does he think that I said that? Or is he just lying? You know, I'll tell you what's going on with some of these callers, okay? Because Mar-a-Lago's right down the street. There are people in Trump's orbit that listen to this program. The president has listened from time to time. And when he's in town, or when people think he's in town, sometimes some of the callers are trying to show off to Trump. They think Trump might hear. So they say things. Like, I remember... Pastor Bob Coy, he was the pastor of Calvary Chapel long ago. Bob Coy's no longer the pastor there. And I remember he was filling in for Steve for a week. And I wasn't on the air that week. I just was running the board. And all the liberal callers were calling in, telling Bob Coy all these things about Steve and I from over the years that they thought would hurt our reputation with Bob Coy. It was hilarious. I mean, these are all things we talked about on the air, or these people wouldn't know about them. But I think that's a little bit of what was going on with Terry, but he was trying to do it with Trump. And I did stop watching that documentary after that. It's too much. I mean, that's just sick.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, appreciate the call. But that's liberals for you. All right, we'll take our last break of the second hour and be right back.
The Cold Hard Truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Are you ready to be a part of history? Fort Lauderdale United FC is bringing women's professional soccer here. For more information, visit FTLUTD.com.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
electric bill has gone up, even double. Radiant Barrier is the cure. Stop the heat gain, lowering the temperatures in the attic up to 40 degrees, cutting the FPL bills up to 40%. Dog Days of Summer sale. Save 50% on Radiant Barrier and insulation removal, rat proofing, and we even do AC ducts in the heat of the summer. Act now and get $500 off Radiant Barrier over 2,000 square feet and $1,000 off over 4,000 square feet, plus a 30% federal tax credit. So call now, 954-939-1500 to save big. Call 954-939-1500 and talk to the owner, Scott. That's 954-939-1500 or cutmykilowatts.com. Estimates given on the phone, work done in days, not weeks. Easier than ordering a pizza.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is
Alrighty, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, 49 minutes after the hour. I want to talk about Joe Thomas. Oh, man. You know, Joe Thomas, what he does is absolutely amazing. For over 30 years, he's been a retirement planning expert, financial advisor to retirees, people who are already retired or people that plan on retiring at some point in their life. And that could be Friday or it could be a Friday 20 years from now. If you're going to be retired or are retired, you want to talk to Joe Thomas and talk to him about annuities. What he does is absolutely amazing, and I don't understand why everyone's not doing this. You know, with annuities, your money, your investment is not at risk. Your principal is never at risk. And what Joe Thomas told me, which blew my mind, because these are secured through insurance companies, during the Great Depression, no insurance companies went out of business during the Great Depression. That's amazing. And not only is your money 100% safe, you can also have a revenue stream and have income coming to you in your retirement. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know why everyone's not at annuities. I didn't understand them before I met with Joe Thomas. I'd heard about them over the years. People had mentioned them to me, and I didn't know. And now that Joe Thomas, since he's joined the program, it seems like everybody I know has an annuity. People keep telling me about them. I had no idea, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing because your principal is not at risk. You know, the uber rich, they got their trust funds and everything. They don't risk principal. They don't risk their principal. You want to follow what the uber rich do to have a secure retirement where you're not pinching pennies and living your life. Getting your hair done and playing golf every day is the dream of a lot of people, but those things cost money. And with stock markets up and downs and things like this, not with annuities. You have nothing to worry about. Give him a call. You know, Joe Thomas, he's offering free copies of his book, The Retirement Know-It-All, and free phone consultations. And you can take advantage of the free phone consultation no matter where you are located. Here's his number. By the way, no matter where you're located in America, you can take advantage of the free phone consultation. 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. And if you missed the number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. All right, jupiterjoe.com. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm in Tampa. I got two points. One, everybody needs to vote for Trump like yesterday. And so despite Jeff said wait till November 5th for the last minute.
As you can, yes.
By the way, here's what you don't know. Hooters does not have lap dancing. That's what makes them
What? What was the funny part there? You know, it's amazing. Some days the callers are like, great callers. And then some days it's like that. Did you know, this is crazy. Did you know on Tuesday, Biden's Surgeon General declared gun violence a public health crisis? Did you know this? This is something they've been wanting to do for a long time. Obama did this with race. Remember this? Obama made racial discrimination a health crisis. Now Biden's making gun violence a health crisis. That's right. And the Surgeon General says people want to be able to walk through their neighborhoods and be safe. You know, I have no concerns about gun control. It is never going to happen. They pull these things out in election years. See, you know, I was watching yesterday MSNBC, and I've been watching a little bit of it because the debate's coming up, and I want to hear what their thoughts are on Trump and everything coming up on the debate, and it's bizarre, the things they've said. But they were talking about how one of Biden's problems are the people that are surrounding him are old guys in their 60s and 70s, which really shocked me because that means Jean-Pierre's on the out and Kamala's on the out. You know, I didn't realize that his inner circle were a bunch of men who were white in their 60s and 70s. But when you see things like this, you see it. The Biden campaign, which is not being run by him, is being run by a lot of old people that are out of touch with what's going on. They're running a campaign out of the 80s and 90s, throwing out old issues and tactics that are out of date. Right? You know, and gun control is one of them. No one cares about that. Not even liberals care about that these days. Okay? No one. What people care about is actually the opposite. People are thinking, you know, there's so much crime going on. These Biden migrant criminals, there's so much crime going on, they think they need more guns to protect themselves. I mean, look at what happened at that kitty rapist in New York. The police didn't get the guy. The citizens got him. Now, it's New York City. They don't, you know, most people don't have guns in New York City. But people, and look at even the girl, the sad girl that was raped and murdered by the illegals. Mother tracked her down through the cell phone, Find My Phone, the lost phone, and she went and found her daughter. She got there the same time. The authorities were already there at the crime scene. Just god awful. But people are struggling financially, right? I saw a guy at the Trump rally. He was interviewed, I think it was on Right Side, and he said his grocery bill, it's just him and his wife. It used to be $100 a week for him and his wife to go grocery shopping, $100 a week. Kids are grown. When Trump was president, now it's $300 a week. Okay, so the things that people across party lines are concerned about in this election cycle, number one is inflation, which is completely out of control and people are struggling. Can you imagine what it must be like for people that have children? Pay hasn't gone up, but the prices have gone up 3 times, depending on what it is. But food is the highest. Other one is the border. Okay? People are very upset about the invasion. And the third one, which is connected to that, is crime. And you, while they want to keep saying liable for rape with Trump every 5 minutes, okay, people see these rapes that are going on across the country. I saw a guy on CNN yesterday. See if I can pull this up and play it for you guys. This blew my mind. He's on CNN, and the CNN anchor was taking issue with Trump characterizing illegals as criminals. And this guy had her lunch. Let me pull this up. This guy, he's a conservative. He's a MAGA guy. Scott Jennings, he's out of Kentucky. Listen, this is insane. This was CNN.
2/3 of the American people support Donald Trump's policy prescriptions for immigration right now, including a majority of Hispanics in the United States.
Comments? I mean, do you see them as racist and xenophobic comments? I mean, he's painting migrants as, being violent. They have violent tendencies, right?
Okay, now that's the CNN anchor. She's asking, is Trump racist? Is his rhetoric racist? She set this guy up so good to come back and destroy her because he's accusing she calls them migrants, he's accusing the illegals of being violent criminals. Listen to what this guy feeds back to her. This is amazing.
2/3 of the American people support Donald Trump's policy prescriptions for immigration right now, including a majority of Hispanics in the United States. Let me just tell
do you see them as racist and xenophobic comments? I mean, he's painting migrants as, being violent. They have violent tendencies, right? And of course, dehumanizing them to being entertainment for the rest of us.
Is he painting them as being violent? I mean, would Lake and Riley think they were violent? Would Rachel Marin think they were violent? Would Jocelyn Nungare in Texas think they were violent? How about the girl that was raped in broad daylight in New York City? How about the girl that was kidnapped in Missouri? Yeah, there are violent people in the country. And yeah, Donald Trump uses colorful language, but the bottom line is immigration is killing Joe Biden's campaign right now. This is why he has a low approval rating. This is why Donald Trump is honing in on this. and people are responding to it, and people are fed up with it. And if you want to call 2/3 of the country racist or xenophobic because they're in a mood right now that they want this fixed, yes, agree. By all means, go on. It's
okay. That is beautiful. And it for the life of me, I don't get it. A CNN anchor has just totally blocked out these rapes and murders that are going on nationwide, being committed from coast to coast. You know, the one girl, the kidnapping one, illegals kidnapped a girl and were trying to take her to California. What were they going to do when they got to California with her? They got her. She wasn't assaulted, at least according to the recent reports. And these self-appointed liberal feminists on all the cable news channels, all these crimes that he listed, they've just totally blocked them all out of their mind. Just like the rapes of the Israeli girls. They've just blocked all that out. I don't get that. I really don't understand it. I don't know if it can be understood. But these are sick, crazy people. And they're sitting around talking about gun control. People don't care about that. They care about their kids being safe. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm Brian. We'll be back.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and Heard Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show. From the All Year Cooling Weather Center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're off to a great start. So today we're going to see a high of about 91 degrees. So we'll feel hot with that high humidity, and we'll see a good coverage of some strong afternoon showers and storms. Yeah, 5% as well.
And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
There's lots going on this Tuesday morning. If you're driving up to Jupiter, there's an accident involving a tractor trailer on the Turnpike northbound. All lanes are blocked off approaching Indiantown Road. There's also an accident in Lantana on 95 northbound getting to Hypo-Luxo Road, and we're seeing delays on 95 northbound between Lantana Road and 6th Avenue South. This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Craft Pen Days are here at Lowe's right now. Get a free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select battery tool at Lowe's Snows Home Improvement, valid through July 10th. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Fast traffic, I'm Connie Fernandez.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. PBKC is Palm Beach County's only off-track betting location featuring exciting action from top horse tracks around the country. Check out thoroughbred action from New York, Kentucky, California, and more. And the Paddock Restaurant offers the ultimate sports and dining experience with over 140 HD TVs, big screens, exceptional dining, and full bar. PBKC is your entertainment destination. Go to bbkennelclub.com.
Hey, are you looking for a reliable and user-friendly home security system that also offers home automation features? Well, look no further than Sloman Shield. This comprehensive system integrates home security and automation, giving you control over your home at your fingertips. With Sloman, you'll enjoy peace of mind.
Welcome. Hey, guys, if you're new, make sure you subscribe, all right? Make sure you subscribe if you are new. This is where MAGA comes to talk, people. All right, where are we? Hold on. Are you there, Steve?
Yes, I am.
All right.
And for a limited time, Sloman's will also throw in video surveillance capabilities, including the choice of an outdoor or indoor video camera. With this feature, you can view your home from your smartphone or tablet, receive notifications when someone enters or leaves your home, and you can review any unusual activity. Do not miss out on this incredible offer. Call 833-283-5050 to learn more and schedule your installation. Sloman's a trusted provider of home security solutions for over 100 years.
The Greater South Florida Chamber Health Fair is coming up this Friday, June 28th, from 11 to 3 at the Kane Center in Stewart. The True Oldies channel will be on site. We've got great giveaways, fun, and more. Learn more, GreaterSouthFloridaChamber.com.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like.
E-bike riders are the new Hell's E-bike riders are. I see a lot of these guys when I come to work in the morning. And I just assume that they got DUIs and they can't drive, so they got an e-bike. E-bikes are expensive.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, the third hour has begun. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, there you go. Now you're there. You there, Steve? I have to hit the on button to put you on there. I forgot to do that. Yeah. It can make a big difference. Yeah. So what's on your mind today?
Tell you what's on my mind is on everybody's mind. I've never seen such hype before a presidential debate before. And last night was Monday night.
Yeah. Well, you're a little close to the mic, Steve. So the mic's a little hot, a little distorted. I don't know. It's a little better. Yes, it is. Okay. The thing about there's an effort to undermine Biden. We were talking about this yesterday, right? The fact-checking thing on Trump in Charlottesville. That was the whole reason that he said he ran. They undermined. And then this, I mentioned this story earlier. Got some calls on it. They agreed with me. I wanted to run this by you. There was a new financial scandal about the Bidens that came out yesterday, that they have been refinancing their home every 17 months since 1975. They've done this with all their houses. They refinance their house every 17 months. Their current house, which they valued at $350,000, which by Florida standards is like a one-bedroom condo somewhere, but they refinance that one every 17 months too, and they've taken a total of $4.2 million through these mortgages out of a house valued at $350,000. Well, it sounds to it. If we only talked about what surprised us, we'd have nothing to talk about because nothing. I'm so jaded. Nothing. If aliens landed outside the radio station, that might surprise me. But this is a big financial scandal because I can think of only two reasons why the Bidens are refinancing the house every 17 months, and they're getting large sums of money, $500,000 and more each time they do it every 17 months. And refinancing is very expensive. Costs a lot of money to do that, right? There's a lot of fees. I think it's two possibilities, and it could be both. It could be, I think their net worth is $10 million, but someone's net worth is not how much cash they have on hand. We all understand that, right? I think everybody understands that. But they need cash, right? They need cash. They need cash. They need cash for one of two reasons. I can't think of any others. Hunter gets in trouble with pimps and drug dealers that they got to pay. Or when Biden takes bribes, and everybody knows, you agree, Biden takes bribes, right? Okay, when someone takes a bribe and they're flush with cash, the refinancing and getting all this cash out, $500,000 or more, could be a way to explain the lavish purchases after the bribes. New cars, new clothes, beach house. Understand what I'm saying? It's either one of those two things or both. I can't think of another reason. But what I find interesting is this is the second negative news dump in 2 days on the eve of the presidential debate about Biden. The first one was the fact-checking, which blew away his whole thing about running. Now this is a financial scandal, refinancing his house every 17 months since 75, Steve. Every 17 months. The house that he's in now, he's refinanced 30 times. The one before that, 25. Okay. So there's money laundering or something going on here. So it's not a coincidence. He's been doing this since 75, refinancing every 17 months since 1975. Well, but somebody dropped this story yesterday to screw him over during the debate. It's got to be.
Him asking the point, a very excellent point. he's finally getting caught here. At the end.
Well, no, he's getting ratted out. He's getting ratted out. Not.
The question then becomes, who wants him out more, the Republicans or the Democrats?
I don't think Trump did this. This refinancing the House he'd save it. He'd save it till right before this is the kind of thing that would be in the October surprise. Right? This is one of those October surprise stories. Now, there's another thing I want to add. There's another thing I want to add about the debate. Okay, and this is this has been reported a little bit this week. Now, I've told you that Dana Bash is CIA. That her husband, that she got the Bash name from, Jeremy Bash, was a senior guy at the CIA. Okay. Dana Bash is co-moderating the debate on Thursday with President Trump and Biden with Fake Tapper. Dana Bash's ex-husband, Jeremy Bash, is one of the 50 intelligence officials that signed off and said the laptop was Russian disinformation. These are some conflicted people, man. And they're moderating the debate. And this is unreal. All right, the phones are ringing. Let's take some of these calls. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, gentlemen. It's Greg. How are you today?
Greg, how are you today?
Good. The Panthers brought the Stanley Cup home to South Florida, so it's a great day for sports here. I know you guys don't watch.
I could care less. I
know. Because the other sports fans, enthusiasts in your listening audience might want to hear the shout out.
They can hear that everywhere else today in Florida.
Self-gratification.
Oh, you're into self-gratification? What else do you do to pleasure yourself? Exactly.
That's where your guys' mind went right to sex. See, that's two perverted thoughts. I'm thinking about sports. You're thinking about sex.
The reason you said the joke was to make what'd you call in about? This is a serious show. We don't have time for your self-gratification.
You know what scares me? The thing, listen, Trump is way ahead in every poll. But Brian, you consistently see rhetorical remarks that are like the average American looks at your remarks. Like, for example, Steve, I'll get your opinion on this. Brian said that Hooters are shutting down restaurants, even though Outback is, TGI Fridays, Applebee's. But the reason
I agree with you. I agree with Brian in that I don't really feel like talking about that too.
Yeah.
Well, he brought it up as a major point. He says it's because people are no longer enough heterosexual.
Oh no, he's not talking about the Stanley. Okay, no. Let me say what I said, and then I was talking about Hooters. Hooters is a PG-13 strip club. It's a PG-13 strip club. They're closing dozens of locations, and I think the main reason that they're closing is because there's not enough men under 40 that are into hot girls with tight clothes and huge boobs. That they're all into this gender and gay stuff, and that they have a smaller customer base than they had when I was that age.
It's that type of rhetoric from a conservative person that turns people off, Brian. I know you want to do your ratings and capture a little attention, but
it's not for ratings, it's an observation. Then
why did Outback close? Well, there are a lot of restaurants. Right? Okay, and let's go on.
I'll agree with you on that, Steve. Okay, yes, okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Donald from Long Island.
Hey.
On the refinancing on the houses, has anyone given thought to that there's no tax on debt? The money's taken out in the form of debt and it's tax-free?
Well, since 1975, there's a huge investigative report in the Daily Mail. This is on my Twitter. I tweeted it yesterday. I haven't seen this reported anywhere else. Since 1975, the Bidens have been refinancing their home every 17 months, okay? And taking huge amounts of cash far above the value of the home. Refinancing is expensive. Whatever you're saving in taxes, you're paying the mortgage broker. There's something. This is a normal. Hold on. I don't need all these scenarios. Like, you start doing math, I'm gonna get a headache. Are you telling me that refinancing a home every 17 months for 40 years is normal and a smart thing to do?
No, it's not. No, it's not normal, but it's smart if you're laundering money because.
Oh, if you're laundering money, okay. Okay.
Say you.
Yes.
If you're spending $20,000 to refinance and you're pulling $500,000 in the form of debt that's tax free, it's a no-brainer.
Okay, so I get it. Okay, so you agree with me that it's money laundering.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. We agree. Okay, that makes sense. So you got to get out of the math. Appreciate the 100%. Yeah, it's great. Oh my goodness, that's who's running the show right now. Can you believe it? All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take a quick break and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Doing great. What do you have for us today?
Well, the question today is, when is the last time you took out your current estate plan, your will, your trust, whatever type of plan that you did, and looked at it? When did you dust it off? When did you take a real good look at it to see what do you have in place, or do you have anything in place? Was it done in another state? Did it name a person as a trustee or beneficiary or personal representative that you would not want? Have things changed in your life? Do you have new grandchildren? Do you have, have you been divorced? Have you been married? Has anything changed since you have last done it? Has anything changed financially that may require some review and updating? And of course, one thing that you may or may not know, probably don't know, is have the laws changed that could affect your estate plan? Is it out of date? And that's one of the things that we will do free of charge. We will review with you your current estate plan to make sure that you have an estate plan that is up to date, that is going to work, falls within your wishes, and is up to date under the law. So that is something that we do for free at the Siegel.
You know, Attorney Barry Siegel, I know of someone. I'm going to be vague about this because I don't like people in my circle to be listening, but I'll probably get grief over this. I know of someone who died in recent months. They didn't update their documents. Their ex-wife got everything. Their kids got nothing. And the ex-wife, her and her hookup now have everything, and the kids got cut out. And by the way, that's even like the personal items in the house. That's pretty common with people when they don't review. They find out that ex-spouses are getting their inheritance instead of their kids and grandkids. That's pretty common, isn't it?
Yeah, and there are some things that even if you look at your estate plan yourself that you may not catch. We talk sometimes on your show about the bloodline protection.
Mm-hmm.
People, who are non-attorneys, who are not familiar with these issues, can look at it and they'll say, oh, yeah, I named my spouse and then my kids, everything's good. But if it's not set up properly, if we didn't set it up with the bloodline protection, then those assets could very easily end up going to unintended heirs, people you did not want it to go to,
yeah,
such as future ex-son-in-law or daughter-in-law, or creditors, or people suing your beneficiary. All kinds of things can happen if it's not set up properly.
And sometimes it even goes to the children of your wife's next husband instead of your own children and grandchildren. Crazy, sad, twisted things happen, but none of that has to happen because, when you call the Siegel Law Group and you say you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, there's a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group, and you can take care of everything. If you already have all your documents, you need to have the Siegel Law Group review. You guys review people's documents at no charge? Okay, so here's the number, toll free, and remember, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, the Siegel Law Group can help. 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we will talk later in the week. We'll be right back.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at True Oldies FM.
All righty, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve's here. You want to take some more calls? You got some? All right. Oh, igniting what?
Well, I'm talking about the discussion.
Okay.
The thing that interested me last night as I listened around the dial, every presidential election year, there are presidential debates. What makes this particular year and this particular debate different than all the others? And very few people I was listening to last night, as I kind of monitored the different talk stations, no one pointed this out, but it's an overwhelming thing with me. I've never been in this position before. Usually, I've got a candidate I like and I want to see win, and somebody you root for. Some people bet. I happen to be a bettor. I made a bet early on in this thing, which added to my already interest in it. So, what I'm saying here is, the difference here is, I don't want to see I want Biden to have a decent showing. Why is that? Because if Biden gets knocked out, I'll have to win the presidency against a semi-credible candidate. Okay? Biden is the easiest one up there to beat, and I don't want to see him get knocked out now. I want him to be the candidate. Do you have any?
You know, it's funny. It's funny you say that, because I was thinking about this last night, and you know what I was thinking? That when there's different ways to handle debates, and this one's an interesting one because he's got Bash and fake Tapper there. If Trump did not get combative, it would throw all of them off, the hack CNN moderators and Biden. And I think in a debate is this one 90 minutes? It's 90 minutes, right? With Biden, what my tactic would be if I were Trump is, I agree with you. We want to run against him and not Cuomo or News Scum or somebody, is throw him off, let Biden do as much talking as possible. He'll run out of gas. He'll run out of gas before the end. And it'll also throw them off with what they're prepared for. They're prepared for him to come in rough and combative, and every time Trump's talking, it gives Biden a chance to rest. So I would let him run his energy out and just do a totally different thing that they would expect me to do if I were Trump.
So I'd like to see, I think what they're going to do is let Trump, and this is unlike Trump's usual strategy, I think if they get too heavy-handed, the Dems, against Trump, they're going to look unsympathetic. Yeah. And he's going to look good guy.
Yeah.
Expecting that, that's the way it's going to go. And by the way, as far as Biden buying this act, Biden is a mumbling numbskull, a senile old man at this point. I think he plays that a lot. I think if you even look back in this campaign earlier, in different events they've had, Biden has shown that he can lay back and...
He pretends a lot. Yeah.
And I think that's what they're going to do. And I think Donald's going to play. I don't like saying playing the victim, but I think that's what's...
You know what he does? It's like, I know a guy, he has to wear hearing aids. He doesn't wear his hearing aids, so he doesn't have to hear his wife giving him orders, all the time. Yeah, exactly. Guys are notorious for doing things like that. No, I agree with you. It's like he uses his cognitive state as a weapon or a shield, whichever is convenient. Yeah. No, I agree with him.
He's not as far gone as he would like you to think.
Yeah, I don't want to give any of the secrets that Steve and I use here on the program. If you listen long enough, you can pick up our debate tactics. Yeah, but I'm not going to explain it all. But sometimes you'll hear a caller who calls in, and I just don't play. I'll just not say much. You know what I mean? And it throws them off. They don't know where to go because, what's going on right now is I heard that they have an airplane hangar set up as the debate stage that they're practicing on. and they got this guy pretending to be Trump. And the problem they have with that is they don't understand President Trump. So the guy that's playing Trump is playing their stereotype of Trump, who is more like the Alec Baldwin Saturday Night Live character than Trump in reality. So the guy that's pretending to be Trump in the debate prep for Biden, he is being aggressive and mean and nasty and all these things. If President Trump comes off cool and collected and doesn't engage Biden or the commentators that much, it'll throw Biden off so much that he'll run out of things to say.
There's nothing that says that Biden is not going to look good in this thing.
Yeah, there's one thing, you've told me this many times, and this is very true, and, what we do here is similar to a debate, and this took me a long time to wrap my head around, this concept of less is more, and I think less is more with Trump in this particular debate. Yeah, in my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, but
it's an advantage to him hitting them where they don't expect it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bombastic one. If he takes a step backwards and let them appear there. I mean, look how they've got this thing loaded up. The format is so unfair.
Oh my goodness, isn't it?
That's a big plus for Trump. If he sits back and at certain points and lets them look like bullies. They are.
This. Remember that program director we had, the guy that was he was the Neil Armstrong of internet porn. That porn we had this program director. Yeah, Mr. Super Talk. Steve and I used to be on 940 Wins in Miami years ago, and we had this program director. He called himself Mr. 610, and then Mr. Super Talk. He was the first person and the first man in South Florida to watch pornography online at work. And he was in the office next to the studio watching pornography all day during the days of dial-up. He was a real creep. And, his door was always shut. If you went in there and you opened up the door without him opening it, it was jumping all over the place, But anyway, remember what he said. I remember we used to have a lot of guests in studio back then. And he told us that we're supposed to have our mics higher than the guest so that we could dominate the guest. Remember that? Please. We've dominated guests without microphones. We've let them run the board and we still could do, If you're a skilled debater, you can say very little and win a debate that's like a maestro. And Trump's a maestro. He's very, very smart. And he's a maestro. Yeah.
He's a counterpuncher.
That's right. But when the rehearsals, what I was trying to explain if you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break in a moment, and then we'll come back with your calls. We don't have time to give you the proper time, and I know some of you have been holding for a while, and we don't want to just put you on for 10 seconds. But if Trump doesn't act aggressive with the one-line insults, Biden, Tapper, and Bash will not know how to react if he doesn't play ball like that. If he comes in different, they're going to be lost, and he'll come in and fillet all three of them. It'd be beautiful. It'll be beautiful. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. That's right, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 47 years on the radio, the same year that we're electing the 47th president, Donald Trump. We'll be back with your calls after this.
Morning radio great again. Think you're gonna...
You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sean. I'm calling from Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I've listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in there last week. I had a knee problem. One session, I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. And for people out there that are dealing with pain, believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation. FREE free. You will lose. The only thing you'll lose is the pain that you're dealing with. Do not suffer. Go in to see Dr. Appleton. The greatest visit of your life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary. And walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to ask you a question. How important is a good night's sleep, and when was the last time you got one? I get one each and every night with the MyPillow mattress topper. They're 50% off now with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. Pair it with new pillows and those fabulous Giza Dream Sheets. There's huge discounts on those too. Free shipping on all orders over $75 with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com. You'll thank me in the morning.
Hey, my true oldies listeners, John Tesh here with some intelligence for your retirement this time. When you're looking for a retirement advisor, you know trust and experience are two big qualities to look for. And as it turns out, my friend Jupiter Joe Thomas possesses both of these. Whether you're in retirement or looking to retire, I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to JupiterJoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or remember, go to JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com.
Attention seniors, are you not happy with your current Medicare plan? If not, give Debbie at I Will Advisors a call. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080. There are 5-star rated plans that you can enroll in the middle of the year. That's right, you don't have to wait for open enrollment. Debbie and her family have been taking care of Steve Kane Show listeners since 1993. Debbie even handles Steve Kane's Medicare. So if you're not happy with your current Medicare plan, give Debbie a call right now and go over the options. 954-753-8080. Debbie can help you no matter where you're located in the state of Florida. 954-753-8080. And online, IWillAdvisors.com.
Hey, grab your flip-flops and get ready for a summer in paradise on Margaritaville at Sea, where cruises to the Bahamas now start at just $75 a person. For a limited time, dance the night away at our high-energy poolside parties, then settle in for island-inspired cuisine night after night with your favorite plus one. From fins up to sundown, a Bahamas getaway with Margaritaville at Sea is the perfect summer refresh. Book it today to lock in your savings.
All right, here we go. Coming back. 3 seconds.
At MargaritaVilleAtSea.com.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All righty, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve is here. The phones are ringing.
Make one other point.
Huh?
It's important. See, people who deal with from the other side with Trump make a big mistake. They don't give him his due. They don't understand that Donald Trump is a genius.
Mm-hmm.
For example, on this battle tonight.
No, it's not tonight. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. Yeah, I know. It can't come soon enough, though. It's Tuesday. It's 2 days away.
I'm along. But what I'm starting to say, see, whereas they, the Democrats, are preparing for one debate tonight.
Thursday.
Trump realizes it's not one debate tonight. It's a series of 3 debates.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight is the first debate, which sets up the second.
Yeah.
So he's preparing for a series of debates, and he's left his opponents in the dust because he's way ahead of them.
Yeah. You come in for the knockout at the end. That's the one people remember.
Major General would call elemental strength.
And I give an example, and by the way, callers, we'll get right to you, I promise. I give you an example to back up what you just said, Steve, which is Steve and I are agreeing too much today. I don't know. One of us must have been drinking last night. If you go back 4 years ago to the Democrat primary debates, remember who won the first Democrat debate? Biden was there. Remember who won it?
I'm trying. I have the name of the.
Kamala Harris won the debate. They had like 5 to 10 candidates. She came back in the second debate, got whooped, and dropped out. She dropped out right after the second. She came in on that first debate and was on top. They were talking about nominating her, giving her the Nobel Prize. The Prime Minister of India was being asked to comment, all this stuff. And the second debate, Tulsi Gabbard cleaned her clock, and she dropped in the polls to 1% and faded away. Now I know she's vice president, but that's fading away. So yeah, the first debate is forgotten. It's a big deal the next day, but it's forgotten after the next ones. Okay, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey.
Hi guys. Hi Steve. How are you? I remember many years ago when I watched Ali, I think it was the Ali Foreman fight, and Ali used the tactic of the rope-a-dope.
That's correct.
Would this tactic not work to perfection with Biden? This guy.
What is the rope-a-dope strategy? I've heard it, but I don't know what the strategy is. I was like a kid.
You're
okay,
pretending you're wounded.
Oh.
To get your opponents to come at you.
You cover yourself up, you got your arms up, and you let the guy just bang away your arms, and he just punches himself out, has no energy, and then you come back and you just annihilate him. Biden's in 5 minutes. I mean, he's got anything left. The other thing is, we're talking about credible candidates here. Does the Democratic Party have any credible candidates at any level of government? I watched this Bowman and the AOC rally yesterday? It was a disgrace.
That's not where the credible candidate is. The credible candidate, the one that if I feared anybody, I would fear would be Michelle.
Think so, really?
Oh, absolutely. Come on.
Credible candidate? No. She's never debated. I haven't even heard her speak more than one sentence or two in all the years she's been public. Have you?
First.
I don't know about. Have you ever heard her speak more than a sentence?
Heard her in short spurts.
Exactly.
Wow.
Very short spurts.
Exactly.
But is she the future of the Democratic Party?
No, it's not going to be her.
Democrats are in trouble. There's no argument about it.
They're desperate.
Big trouble. But I think
nobody is going to put them in deeper trouble than Joe Biden. Because Joe Biden is the worst of the worst.
So using the rope-a-dope strategy, Trump could, the debate's 90 minutes, so he could come in the last 30 minutes and clean everybody's clock, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Biden has trouble just...
But CNN has sent word out limiting, this is still playing out today, but they are highly restricting audio and video from the debate being played on other media. Because so they're anticipating Biden getting creamed.
One more big story to leak probably tomorrow.
Well, this refinancing the house every 17 months for 50 years, that's news to us, but to the Washington people, they all know it. So that's a you agree it's money laundering probably, right? Yeah.
I never heard of anybody refinancing a house that many times.
Every 17 months for 50 years.
The guy on well, not Fox, but Newsmax, one of the finance guys, to take a look at this. So what's this all about? This is ridiculous.
What I'm curious to know is, because there's a lot, how much money does it cost to do that every time? Because the amounts are known. It's like 550,000, 400,000. It's always huge numbers. So the fees on that is thousands and thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. There's no limit on how many times you can refinance your house either.
Well, when you're there, this is a mob family. We're talking about the Sopranos here. Okay, these are not, you and I would not. Bank of America would not let you and I finance or chase every 17 months. No.
I don't want to say total collapse of the Democratic Party, but they are really on a downward slope, and it's nice watching it. But Trump, I think he just takes a step back, let this guy talk.
I like it. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. You know what it's like, Steve? It's like when we've let liberals come in to host a show, and we can do it. They're going to clean our clocks, and you and I will sit there, and 5 or 10 minutes later, they're begging us to take over the show again. We've had that happen a few times. They run out of energy, and they run out of things to say. That's true. Exactly. That's right. Oh, my goodness. Do you remember that one guy? Please don't say his name, because I don't want to inject him back in our life. But there was this one guy that did a show, and he used to write out his whole 3-hour show. And this is when I was on the air overnight. You'll remember this, Steve. I was on the air overnights from 3 to 6 in the morning, and I was in my early 20s then, and I used to stay out clubbing till 2:30 in the morning, and I'd have to come on the air at 3 a.m. without doing any prep. And I found his whole show written in the garbage. He put his whole thing, and I did his show over. Remember that? I just read his thing and told everybody. Oh my gosh! Oh my god! I thought he was gonna shoot me. Okay, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is David from Tamarack, and good morning, Steve.
Good morning,
I believe
Dave.
that good morning. I believe the Democrats are basically freaking out because the previous caller was right. They have no one else they could run.
No.
Is no one else that wants to run against Trump because they're going to get creamed.
Well, let me clarify that a little bit. No one who thinks they have a political future wants to lose now. They want to come back in 4 years and like New Scum or Whitmer, for example. They think they have a future. Yeah.
And who else do the Democrats have?
No one.
Pete Buttigieg or Mario Cuomo
Well, no, Mario Cuomo's dead.
Okay, whatever, the other Cuomo. But the point is they got nobody.
Andrew.
So this is the last chance, and Biden is completely senile. He's completely out of it.
I think he's in a certain degree. You don't agree?
So they're trying to take an Alzheimer's patient and prep him for a 90-minute debate against Donald Trump.
Steve thinks that Biden's faking it. I'm
not saying totally. I'm saying he's faking the degree. He's preparing the way by playing at certain points a character that's worse than really is.
Maybe.
Why?
Because I don't agree with Steve on this totally, but I think what the purpose might be, if Steve's theory is correct, which I don't subscribe to, is that it allows him to do corruption with exactly. I mean, look, the Justice Department said that he's too mentally out of it to prosecute. Right? All right, hey, listen, good call, appreciate it. The rest of you on hold, stand by. Thank you. We'll be right back with your calls.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered more.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking?
Metal's looking fine after yesterday's $14.30 gain on gold, closing out the day at $2,334.30, right on the highs. Silver was up 6 cents, closing out the day at $29.51 the ounce, while platinum gained $6 at $997, and palladium was up $45 at $977 as we continue to see this back and forth action in this trading range. Gold down $7.80 right now at $2,326.50. Silver up 4 cents at $29.55 the ounce. Platinum down $6 at $9.91, and palladium down $5 at $9.72. So the metals continue to be very solid and at these numbers, and pretty much at the lower end of our trading ranges right now.
Wow. Now you've been telling us the last couple of weeks, I would ask if this is still true, is pre-33 gold still a good bargain?
Absolutely. The lowest premiums we've seen in history, practically.
So
great values on the old double eagles of the United States. These are pre-1933 coins that were made from 1850 to 1932, and great values, very low premiums.
So let me ask you. So if someone's interested in increasing gold today, is that would you say get the pre-33 gold? You're getting more metal for your money than maybe some of the other products, or does it not matter? What would you recommend on that?
Well, I would recommend them as a diversification and a play from the standpoint that we could see the premiums go higher on these, even with gold. If it just remained in a trading range, we could see the premiums go back up to some of the 10 and 20% premiums they once were at.
Because the pre-33 gold isn't being minted anymore. It hasn't been minted in almost 100 years. So that's when word starts to spread that the premiums are so low, people are going to start buying them up, and they're going to go up in price. That's awesome. And I know a lot of you pre-33 gold people out there, you know exactly what William Youngerman's talking about here. So it's time. And remember, no matter where you're located, you can do all your business and transactions with William Youngerman over the phone and through the mail. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. You can stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building. And you can find both his phone number and address on his website, WilliamYoungerman.com. WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, we'll be right back.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now, the Steve Kane Show.
All right, we're back. Call us on hold, stand by. You know, Steve, you have the MyPillow full body pillow, right? You know, yeah, that's true. You know, the MyPillow full body pillow, which, by the way, huge discount on, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. It's a MyPillow that is the whole length of the body. It has that patented fill inside, and, you know, a lot of people, you sleep on your side. I sleep on my side. You sleep on your side? Yeah, and so it's perfect to cuddle up. Let me ask you, when you use I'm thinking about getting one, the MyPillow body pillow. Do you use it not just to curl up with, but do you put your head on it too, or do you have like another pillow? Oh, okay. Okay. It sounds wonderful. So it's a MyPillow, the full length of the body. It has the same patented fill inside, and get this, there's a huge discount. Normally that pillow is $117.97. It's just $49.98 with our promo code Kane at checkout. Yeah, just $49.98. The MyPillow body pillow with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And also, this is something I did not know. This is something new. Do you know, with our promo code Kane, Kane, not only do you get these huge discounts and free shipping on all orders over $75, but on orders over $50, you can pay over time. You don't have to pay all at once. Isn't that something? I did not know that. That's something new. And by the way, that's site-wide with our promo code Kane as well. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. All right, back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Bruce from Lakewood.
Hey, Bruce.
Morning. Hey. I'll throw something out at you. You mentioned a few days ago about how Fox News was releasing Trump's commercials to the Biden...
Chris Ruddy. No, Chris Ruddy from Newsmax was on the show last Monday, and he said that Fox gets a hold of Trump's commercials early from the campaign. They're not supposed to share them with anybody, and they've been leaking them to CNN, to the Biden campaign in advance, correct, before anybody else has seen them.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is that these releases, these mysterious releases, are trying to steal the thunder from those ads.
Oh, that's an interesting point. You're talking. Maybe that you're talking about the mortgage scam. That's a good point.
And I could also see Trump doing commercials saying Biden got into this race and showing Biden saying I got into the race because of Trump saying this.
I mean, have you heard of? I mean, what are your thoughts on Joe and Joe Biden refinancing their home every 17 months for the last 49 years?
It's got to be something. It has to be something illegal that they're doing.
You think?
There'd be no other explanation. I can't give you an explanation exactly.
I mean, and how do you even get those? How do you even get those loans? Because if you're resetting the loan every 17 months, you have zero equity. You're underwater.
Your credit looks like.
If he takes payoffs and then pays off the loan and then refinances again.
My guess is it's money laundering, and when remember in Goodfellas when they did the Lufthansa robbery, De Niro gets all before De Niro came out to what he is these days. When we used to go to the movies to watch this has-been jerk, but all the guys at Lufthansa, a guy went out and got his wife a mink coat, another guy got a car. He says you can't show all this stuff. You got to sit on the money. The refinancing, every time he takes a bribe, gives an excuse for the flush of cash and the new items. That would be my guess.
That's the only way that it would make sense. I mean, although I'm no financial expert.
I'm not a financial criminal or a financial expert, but the Bidens, they apparently. I mean, this is an interesting thing because this whole and I didn't get to this because phones are very busy, but I'll forget this. Let me say this. This whole ridiculous case with Judge and Goron over the property value, they were accusing Trump of defrauding banks. Who the hell is giving a loan to refinance on a house every 17 months to somebody on the same property? Who's that loan officer? That's a major financial fraud.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, for sure.
All right, take care. Thanks for the call. We have some smart callers, I must tell you, Steve. The callers on this show, the quality has increased. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I think we are in sync, Brother Brian. Good morning. Uncle Steve, good morning. Yesterday we had some difficulties. Hey, brother. We had some difficulty yesterday. I went back and listened to the show again. I just wanted to say good call from Ben from Pompano, Jeff in Maine, Richie the bus driver, and Mike in Louisiana. That summed it up yesterday, and that show was pretty fantastic.
Yes.
You just said loan officer, and I was a loan officer 2001, 2004.
Okay, slow down, IB. For the first time in a long time, you've gotten my interest in your content. So you're a little far away from the phone. So did you say you were once a loan officer?
Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Now that I'm interested, he's going to get the phone all right. Okay. I know it's worth it. That's perfect. So you were a loan officer?
I didn't want you to hear the birdies. Yes, that's a
Oh, okay. So give us your loan officer expert take on the Bidens refinancing their home every 17 months for 49 years.
No expert. Just having been in the records office and researching things on microfiche and so forth back in the day. All I'm thinking is this.
Microfiche. Oh, wow, you're old. I haven't heard microfiche in a long time. Microfiche.
The knowledge is going this way. You just said loan officer, but let's not forget about the underwriter, the person who oversees the actual, all the documents when you do a loan. Who is that person? The underwriter, right? Now, how much money is coming in before Joe Biden has been given out his payment under the loan? Who sends the money to the bank within a certain period of time? See how many companies have done that from the same place or the same country.
This is what I know, okay? I appreciate the call, IB. Okay, sorry I asked. When you're refinancing every 17 months, again, I don't know about this. I'm not a financial person, okay? I mean, I got a house. But if you go back in 17 months to refinance, every 17 months, there's no equity. You would have to be underwater, right? So how can a bank legitimately give you a loan every 17 months on a property? It's not possible. It is not possible. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen.
Hey, when hi there. When Steve, when you mentioned Michelle running, I know she says she's not going to, but that would be just like Barack Obama running again.
Absolutely.
Last week, Brian Kilmeade, Fox News, had Harris Faulkner on the radio, and she said they were talking about polls, and Harris Faulkner said that currently Obama is the most popular president. So that's what she said. Anyways, and
Well, do you know why that is? I know why. Why do you think that is?
Why he's the most popular?
Yeah, it's not because he's black.
Well, he was elected twice.
He was elected twice, and he and his wife have been out of the public eye for years, 8 years. So people forget. You know, the Clintons kept injecting themselves in because Grandma Hillary always was trying to become president. They've been off retired. I know they're manipulating behind the scenes, but they're out of the limelight. So it's just like they praise Reagan all the time now, right? People out of the limelight, all of a sudden people like them.
I think in terms of the mindset of the people involved, I mean, Democrats are pretty discouraged around this time.
Yeah.
Michelle looks like a fresh face.
Hey, caller, Joellen, what do you think about the Bidens refinancing their home every 17 months for 49 years? What's that about?
Oh yeah, well, yeah, it sounds like money laundering.
It does. Oh, yeah.
I'm concerned. I am concerned about what exactly they're going to let Trump say. I mean, I think if he goes off on any tangent, anything, and doesn't stick to the answers or.
Well, I want you to think about this debate, okay? Fake Tapper, has repeatedly compared Donald Trump on CNN to Adolf Hitler. Dana Bash's ex-husband, Jeremy Bash, is one of the 50 intelligence officers that signed that letter saying the laptop was Russian misinformation. And then we got this senile old coot, and you know what he thinks about Trump. I mean, he's going up against 3 people that have been doing nothing but trying to undermine him for years. It's the most out-of-balance debate in the history of debates.
Yeah, so probably the following morning, no matter what, they should be bringing some of these newscast people should be bringing that out.
And normal people would be embarrassed.
Well, Trump's going to bring it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but are they going to let him? That's what I'm saying. They're going to mute his mic. Whenever he starts saying anything, that's what I'm afraid of.
That's beautiful.
When they resort to things like that, I believe Donald is going to turn it to his advantage.
Exactly.
Make them look bad.
Exactly. You don't think he can handle himself with that? How's that going to look?
Believe me, I know he can handle himself. It's just really just disgusting, the whole thing, that they will not let him.
See, this is, I told you guys, this is the most historical debate ever because it's the first time 2 presidents have done it. It's a big deal. And President Trump it's a big deal. This has never happened before, okay? 2 presidents have never debated running for the presidency. It's always a president and a senator, a president and a governor, okay? It's never 2 presidents. And President Trump has a great understanding of history. And he's brilliant. And he knows how to make those, I knew John Kennedy, you're no John Kennedy kind of moments. He only needs 1 second here and there, and he's going to fillet all 3 of those monsters. It's going to be beautiful. I have no worries. And I agree that Steve's scenario is very possible that he might sit back and let Biden think he won this debate to come back and debate 2 or 3 and hit a home run. That's possible, too, so they don't plug in, news scum or somebody.
Well, I don't know that Biden's going to be actually running. Comes around, but we'll see.
All right, Joellen, take care. Thanks for the call. All right. You're on the... Yeah.
Who do you think that...
Yeah.
Trump would rather run against?
Biden. Biden. Because it's his record you're running against of destruction.
Then we'd be in this.
Anybody they plug in, it's not their record. You're on the air. 30 seconds, caller.
Well, definitely Biden, guys. It's JJ from Matt.
Hey.
I was just going to say, if you've got Mar-a-Lago, the hypocrisy here is insane. You got 18 million valuation at Mar-a-Lago, and this guy's getting, 35 refinancing done here? He's got 20 shell companies.
Exactly.
Fraud. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. Yesterday, there was no vice except gambling. Then they said gamble. Guy called up and said, yeah, no, they gamble.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I learned.
Crimes. I figured we knew all the crimes, but this, 100%. I mean,
You're talking about refinancing every 17 months for 49 years?
Written off? I mean, were they written off, or did he pay them? Did it come...
Listen, if you guys go to my Twitter, Brian Craig Show on Twitter, I retweeted this article yesterday. It goes through the details with the numbers of every refinancing, so you guys can go. We're out of time. Thanks for great call to end the show on. All right, I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., guys. Great calls today. Thanks for raising the bar. We had a couple people early, Steve, that were embarrassing. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Take care.
WSFS 104.3
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Everybody, please like the video. Okay, liking the video helps a lot, guys. So please like the video. All right, take care.